hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons have anything to do before the Honorable Jeff Karp, Justice of the Superior Court, now sitting in Lawrence, within and for the county of Essex, draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in this most honorable court. Court is now open. Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
March 24th, 2026, Courtroom 2, Lawrence Superior Court. The Honorable Justice Jeff Karp presiding. Calling the criminal matter of Commonwealth versus Kelsey Fitzsimmons, docket 2025, 77 CR 311, scheduled today for continued jury waive trial. Could counsel please identify themselves for the record?
Good morning, James Gubitosi.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Marina Moriarty.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor, Martha Cooley, representing the defendant, Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr.
Timothy
Fitzsimmons.
Bradle, Kelsey Fitzsimmons to my right, and thank you again, my paralegal Courtney Healy to my left.
Good morning. Okay, you folks can have a seat. And I want to apologize to everyone for running a bit late. I wanted to do some last-minute research on the motion for a view. And wanted to talk to you folks about it. So paper 88 is the defendant's motion for a view. And I guess at this point, is the defense still seeking a view?
Judge, we haven't had any progress on the other end of it. Excuse me. At this point, I am satisfied with your discretion. If you would like a view, we'll do it. I did file the motion. If you feel that at the close of the evidence you would like a view, we'll make it happen.
Okay, well, let me just tell you my present thinking. So, and I think some of this you're implying, so I don't think I'm patronizing you by any means.
No,
but,
Your Honor.
So I was told at Sidebar yesterday that Ms. Fitzsimmons no longer owns the home, and it belongs to a it is now owned by a third party. So has the defense been in communication with the current owner?
Not the owners themselves, some representatives, Your Honor, and it's just honestly kind of getting a little bit of passive resistance about it.
Okay. All right. So just to point out, and this is why I was running late, I was trying to remember there was a case from a couple decades ago, I think, Commonwealth versus Mattis, which goes through the procedure under circumstances where none of the parties have, a party seeks access to someone's home for purposes of a view, and essentially my memory is, and just a quick look this morning, is that it's kind of a Rule 17 circumstance where the homeowner would need to be summoned, given an opportunity to be heard about whether we could go in there. This issue a lot of times doesn't come up because a lot of times the Commonwealth has either the scene is a public place, or the Commonwealth has had the ability to I guess to reach out to the owners and make that work. But the Commonwealth is not seeking a view. They have the burden of proof. And I guess my position at this point is neutral. I would, if the defense wants a view and you're able to set it up in a timely manner, Commonwealth, if the defense was able to set up the view, in other words, reach out and do the legwork that the Commonwealth usually does, is the Commonwealth opposed to it?
No.
Okay. Will the Commonwealth and your resources help us?
Of course.
Okay. Thank you. So we have. So I'm just going to leave it to you, Mr. Bradle. I just don't want a last-minute decision because we need to. Mr. Ruane especially needs to make plans for transportation, et cetera. So I just don't, it seems to me that as for whether I need it or not, I think it's not my place to say. I know I did in fairness to both sides, I did say that yesterday, and after thinking about it, I don't think it's my place to say. The Commonwealth has the burden, the defense has due process rights, as well as many other constitutional rights, and I'm open to accommodating a view.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Just let Mr. Ruane know sooner than later.
Very good.
Okay.
And we wouldn't, I could just tell you now that we don't want to, force these people to do it. We don't want to get into a
Right.
thing with it, but
I can tell you this from my perspective. Here I am talking again out of both sides of my mouth, which, from my perspective, it arguably is less helpful where the items in the bedroom or the layout and even like the bed and all that aren't the same. And I can get I get a sense that this is a pretty narrow stairwell, et cetera. But in any event, I'll leave it to you folks. You folks are better at doing your jobs than I am.
we'll take one more, we'll reach out one more time, see where it goes,
Okay.
and we'll advise the court by the end of the day.
Okay, no
Thank you.
problem, no problem at all. And other than that, I think we left off with Officer Nunan. I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I just had two more questions for him, and then
For him, okay, all right, that's fine. So we left off, we're near the end of direct examination of Officer Nunan. He can be recalled.
Just reminding you.
Yes, sir, please.
You can take the stand, sir.
Good morning,
Just
sir.
reminding you that you're still under oath from yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All set, Mr. Gubitosi?
thank you. Sir, I just had a couple more questions for you. The firearm that you used on the 30th, what happened to it after you left the residence?
So I secured the scene, and then once more officers showed up, they relieved me, and the chief had me walk with him to his car, and he took my firearm and he gave me his.
You talked about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point to her and describe an article of clothing that she's wearing?
She's wearing a sweater.
May the record reflect she has identified the defendant.
Yes, it may.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Okay. Cross-examination?
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Before we get into the case, I'm looking at your glasses. Are those glasses AI recording type glasses?
No,
Okay, so you're not recording anything right now?
absolutely not.
Okay. Let's go to June 30th at Kelsey Fitzsimmons' house. What time did you get there?
I think right around 6 or 5:30, 6 o'clock.
The upshot of that visit was that when you got there, you didn't secure the firearms, did you?
No, we didn't.
And you, collectively, meaning the three of you, you brought the guy getting the restraining order to the person he claims he's in fear of, correct?
I wasn't aware that Justin was en route. That was Lieutenant Daly when he made arrangements with Justin.
So you're
I-
saying that
I
was,
Allen.
sorry, finish your answer.
Justin I. Allen.
That was your, that was not your part of this incident?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, and you're saying that, oh, sorry.
Excuse me one moment. One moment. second?
Sure.
I want the jury box to be empty, so I just want to have the gentleman move.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, sir. We'll make room for you. And just one second, Mr. Grado. All set, Mr. Grado. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you. So, when did you become aware that Justin Elaine was coming to the house?
I wasn't aware.
Did you see him at all when you were there?
No.
You were aware that he came in and was walking around the house?
No.
You were not?
No.
You go upstairs with Kelsey and with Officer Houston, correct?
Yep.
Officer Houston leaves to see who's coming in downstairs?
There was an older woman that was causing a scene with Lieutenant Daly, and
The question was, did Houston go downstairs?
he did, to mitigate what was going on downstairs, is what my belief was.
Okay. And you were with Kelsey when she had gone into her bedroom, correct?
Yes.
Then you went down the stairs to see what was going on.
No,
You took some steps down the stairs, didn't you?
I did not.
Your testimony is that you stayed on that landing?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't it true you left Kelsey alone in that room for a period of time?
No.
Okay. You're serving an order on someone who's your colleague, correct?
Correct.
It's fair to say that this restraining order service isn't exactly going by the book, is it?
And from my past experience, it is.
Well, the guns are floating around out there.
Actually, Kelsey had stated the guns were downstairs in the basement in the safe.
I didn't ask you what she stated, did I?
Continue.
Thank you. So, the guns are still floating around. You're serving a colleague. The guy comes to the house who's got the order. It's fair to say this isn't exactly a garden variety service of a restraining order, is it?
That's inaccurate.
It's inaccurate?
Yes.
Okay. And this is just another day for you?
No, it's not.
So, in fact, you were working, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You get a call from Houston.
Yes.
He tells you what the plan is, correct?
Yes, he said that,
I didn't ask you what he said.
okay.
He told you what the plan is, correct?
No. He asked me to meet up with him.
He told you that Kelsey's ex-fiancée got a restraining order and that you had to serve it, get her firearms, and get the baby, didn't he?
Not on the phone, no.
And you said to Houston on the phone, whatever he said to you, your answer was, sounds good, right?
No.
That's not what you said.
I don't remember what I said to him.
Okay, well, that's what you told the grand jury, isn't it?
Objection.
Okay, overruled.
Misstating what he told the grand jury.
Well, you can restate there and redirect.
We'll get to all that, Your Honor. We'll circle back
And I
on all
prefer
this.
that both sides show a witness what they're referring to when they're trying to impeach.
I will, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I want to ask you some questions about your relationship with Kelsey.
Sure.
You said that you didn't know her well,
That's correct.
and you said that she was on maternity leave most of the time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you also said that you got along well with her, right?
For the time, I think we went to one or two calls together. Other than that, I worked a completely different shift, so we got along when we went to calls, yes.
Did you get along well with her or not?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you think well of her?
I really didn't have an opinion. I didn't have a chance to really get to know her.
Well, do you know Maureen Teresi, your neighbor?
Maureen Teresi.
You gave her your opinion of Kelsey, didn't you?
I don't remember.
You called her a whack job, didn't you?
I don't recall.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bradle, I missed the question. Can you state
Sure.
that again?
So I asked him if he knew Miss Maureen Teresi, his neighbor,
Okay.
and I said that he gave his opinion of Kelsey to his neighbor, and that he called her a whack job. And then you can answer again, sir. What was your answer?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't.
Is it possible you called her a whack job to your neighbor?
It's possible.
So that's what you really think about Kelsey, isn't it, that she's a whack job?
After she tried to kill me.
And at the time, you went in there loaded for bear, didn't you?
No.
Well, let's see. You told the state police that the job was to section her, didn't you?
It was spoken about that if she reacts badly during the restraining order, she may have to get sectioned.
Well, that's what you said, that you had pre-planned that you were going to section her.
It wasn't
The job was to
pre-planned.
section her, isn't that what you said?
No, that's inaccurate.
So-
Hold on one second. Let me just go through some ground rules. You need to wait until the question's complete, because we can't have two folks talking over one another.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks very much. Go ahead, Mr. Bradle.
And also, you raised quite a lot of concerns about where Kelsey parked her car, correct?
Yes.
And you suggested at one point that you could box her in and take her into custody with respect to the car, right?
Yes.
So you were thinking that she was going to need to be sectioned, that she was a whack job, and that she needed to be boxed in and placed into custody, right?
Objection.
I'm asking about a state of mind, Your Honor.
Has testified that he thought she was a whack job before he went there.
Overruled.
Those are all things that were in your mindset, weren't they?
No.
Well, you said them, right?
No, that's inaccurate.
Sectioning her,
It was brought up by my lieutenant that she may have to be sectioned
and you told the state police that part of the job was to section her.
if she were to be sectioned.
You didn't say that part to the state police, did you?
I don't recall.
Okay, well, we'll go over all this, don't worry.
Okay.
And so, with respect to the car, you testified in such a manner that you're suggesting that there was some suspicion attached to that, right?
Can you rephrase?
Yeah, you're suspicious of the fact that she parked the car 150 yards away, you said.
Yes.
So, your mindset is that she's evading something or she's up to something?
Well, in my training and experience, the distance of where she parked her car from her house and having a baby, and also her behavior in the past where her car was always parked in the driveway,
So you didn't know her very well.
I knew where she lived, and I patrol the town, so I have to drive by her house.
So she parks in the school next to her house.
Yes.
What are you thinking she's going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what her mindset was.
So you're speculating about any suspicion that's attached to that parking job, right?
I was just suspicious about that.
So she's in the house. You
Yes.
know she's in the house.
No, I don't.
You go to the house. You knock on the door. Daly knocks on the door. She comes out like a regular mom,
Yes.
holding the baby, wearing sweats, hair's probably in a ponytail, opens the door,
Yes.
right? So at that point, do you let go of your suspicions about where she parked the car?
I was still curious as to why she parked her car over 150 yards away.
Well, you're looking at it through your own lens as an investigator. Isn't it possible that there's 100 other possibilities in her life that maybe she parked there for some other reason?
Could be. I don't know. Again, I don't know what her mindset was.
So you go in there, and you are the only officer who has tactical gloves on when you go in there, correct?
They're neoprene gloves, yes.
So you're ready for anything, right?
It's past practice with me after working in Lawrence for so long. I tend to glove up for sanitary reasons. I knew we were going to have to handle her firearms, so I didn't want to get any of my prints or anything on them.
But you said you took them off fairly quickly when you got in there.
Yes.
And at what point did you take them off?
Right before she handed me the baby.
So you hadn't yet touched the firearms, and you took them off. So that plan about not getting your prints on the firearms didn't pan out, did it?
I didn't want to hold the baby with those gloves. They're pretty dirty.
And while we're talking about holding the baby, it's fair to say that Kelsey Fitzsimmons, with 3 cops standing there, had her baby, and she's the one that chose to give it to you. Isn't
Yes.
that right? You didn't ask for it. Daly didn't order her to give it to you. She, with whatever her mindset was, chose you to take her baby. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
And she chose you to take a bottle and feed her baby, right?
That's correct.
And then this is 5 minutes before you say she tries to murder you, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you said that you felt that the baby couldn't be comfortable because you had your vest on. So it wasn't comfortable, and you wanted to give the baby off to someone else, right?
That's correct.
A fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not what you said prior, is it?
Well, I like to have my hands free as well. I don't like my hands tied up.
That's what you said the last time, right? That when you spoke with the state police, that you didn't like having anything in your hands, and it was really a tactical reason why you gave the baby up, right?
No, it wasn't tactical. I just didn't want to be holding the baby.
Isn't it tactical that you want to have your hands free to deal with anything you have to deal with at this?
I want to have my hands free on every call.
What's
that I
wrong
go
with the
to.
word tactical? Why isn't that tactical?
Can you rephrase that?
What's wrong with the word tactical?
There's nothing wrong with that.
So why doesn't it apply? Because I said it?
I'm sure it could apply.
I'll strike that, Your Honor. Why doesn't it apply?
I'm sure it could apply. Sure.
So for tactical reasons, you gave up the baby. But that's not what you said here at this trial, is it?
I don't recall what you. Can you rephrase that?
Well, here at the trial, you said that the baby couldn't have been comfortable and you wanted to give the baby off, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you didn't say anything about wanting to keep your hands free for tactical reasons, right?
It wasn't asked.
You were asked what happened repeatedly, and you had every opportunity to talk about it, didn't you?
Sure.
And you left it out.
Not on purpose.
We'll see.
Mr. Brado, comment like that isn't helpful, please.
Sorry, Your Honor, motion to strike.
You're moving to strike your own comment?
I am.
It's allowed. And that's very forthright of you.
Can I just have a moment, Your Honor?
Yeah, take your time.
I want to ask you something about your grand jury testimony that we alluded to. So your testimony here was that you didn't get the whole plan from Officer Houston on the phone, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And my suggestion that your answer about the thing in sort of a matter-of-fact way was, okay, sounds good. And you disagree that you said that, right?
I don't disagree. I just don't recall.
You don't recall?
Yeah, what I said.
So isn't it true that you were asked, page 36, who did you get a call from? Officer Houston. And what was that call about, was the next question. And your answer was, he had asked me if Lieutenant Daly reached out to me. I said no. Officer Houston said, hey, can you meet me at the CCC, which is a little grade school behind the Atkinson School. he said, we have to serve papers to Officer Kelsey. I said, okay, sounds good. And I drove over to that location and met up with him, right? And
Sure.
you knew those papers were a restraining order for Kelsey to give up the baby, give up her guns, lose her job,
I had
brought by her fiance, right?
I had no idea what was entailed in the restraining order at that time.
At what point did you learn the job here?
As far as the restraining order,
As far as this job you were going to do at Kelsey's house?
what job?
The restraining order service, taking the baby, finding the guns,
When I met up with
sectioning her,
Officer
boxing her in.
When I
putting
met
her
up
into
with Officer
custody.
Houston.
Don't talk when I'm talking, sir. Sorry.
Let's not argue back and forth, and just ask your questions. If you just wait to answer until he's done. If you can restate, thank you.
Sure. So you asked me what the job was. So my suggestion is that the job is serving the restraining order, going to get the baby, finding the guns. You thought about boxing her in and taking her into custody. You thought about sectioning her. That job.
When I met up with Officer Houston behind the CCC.
And at that point, you knew what you were getting into, right?
After he explained what was going on, and we were pretty shocked.
In all of the statements you've made prior to being here yesterday and today, you've never said that you were pretty shocked about anything, have you?
I don't recall.
You weren't shocked. You were treating this like a video game, weren't you?
No.
Well, your first answer is, sounds good, like it's any other day, right?
As to meeting up with him behind the CCC. Yep, sounds good. I'll see you there.
Sounds good to meet up, okay. Let's talk about the bedroom and the shots that you fired. Here in court, you said that those shots were in rapid fire.
Rapid succession, yes.
And like a boom boom?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's not what you said to the state police, though, is it?
That was 8 months ago, right around there. I don't recall. I said I shot twice, possibly.
You told the state police that you pulled the trigger. This is 1232 in the audio. You told the police that you pulled the trigger once. You said the word once. And then you said, I kept giving commands. And then you said, I pulled the trigger again. That's a completely different scenario than 2 shots in rapid succession, isn't it?
As far as the time frame, I was trying to recall the event as best as possible. But, rapid succession, you pull the trigger, pull it again. Yes, I pulled it twice.
So that was July 3rd, right after this incident, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it's fair to say that talking then it's right after the incident, and now you're here in court. Both of those propositions can't be true, can they?
I'm sorry, what?
The proposition, I'll rephrase it here. The proposition that you said here in court, that you made 2 shots in rapid succession,
Yes.
and what you said on July 3rd, 1 shot, giving some commands, another shot, both of those things can't be true, can they?
They can be true.
They can be true.
Yes.
So rapid succession, and then what? You talk really fast? before the second shot?
Oh, I was given commands. Don't do it, don't do it.
I'm asking you about this particular passage, this particular thing. Here you said you made 2 shots in rapid succession.
Yes.
You painted a different picture on July 3rd, didn't you?
No.
You shot, you gave commands, and then you shot again.
That's the
How
truth.
can that be rapid succession?
Because that's how it went in rapid succession.
You disagreed with me that it was a boom boom.
Yes.
So where's the time for the commands between the shots?
As I'm yelling them.
Well, that's not what you said. You said you pulled the trigger once. I kept giving commands. I pulled the trigger again.
Yes.
So they're 2 different assertions, aren't they?
No.
Okay. You gave a statement on July 3rd to the state police, right? A recorded statement?
Yes.
You testified yesterday and today. What was your preparation like for this case? To come in here and testify?
I met up with Mr. Gubitosi, Attorney Gubitosi,
How many times?
I believe twice.
And when when were those meetings?
One was recently, I think last Thursday, and the one before, I can't remember.
And when did you start prepping your testimony?
On this past Thursday.
Well, you probably started prepping your testimony about 5 minutes after the shooting, didn't you?
No.
When was the first time you were questioned about what happened?
I think July 3rd.
So everyone left you alone until July 3rd?
Yes.
When you were upstairs with Kelsey, she kept giving you things and asking you to take them downstairs, didn't she?
That's correct.
And she did that with Houston as well, right?
Yes.
So it's fair to say that she was trying to get you away from her, right?
I don't know what her mindset was. I wasn't going to leave her alone.
Sure, let me ask you a better question. The effect of that would have been, if you took things downstairs, that you would have left her.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. That's not consistent with her trying to kill you, is it? She's trying to get rid of you.
Can you ask that question again?
The fact that she's trying to remove you from the area where her gun is not consistent with her trying to kill you, is it?
At that point, no.
So let's get into the incident here. What do you say happened? You say that Kelsey went into her bedroom after being in the baby's room, correct?
Yes.
She, you don't go in the room, right?
No, I stayed at the very top of the stairs, right before the door frame.
All right, so it's fair to say you're on the landing, the top of the stairs, looking into the room.
That's correct.
And the room's got a lot of furniture in it, a lot of things everywhere, right?
Yes.
So you say that Kelsey has a change in her demeanor, right?
Yes.
She starts to shake and get upset, shaking uncontrollably, you said, right?
Yes.
Then she lunges.
Yes.
She's on her knees.
She was, I believe, on her right knee.
You said that she pushed off her left leg and lunged, right?
Yes.
And at the time, you were 3 feet away from her,
Yes.
maybe less.
Maybe.
So can we agree that's arm's length?
She was a little further away than arm's length, I would say.
So arm's length if you reach over maybe. How about that?
Yes.
And your testimony is that she lunges over and obtains a gun,
Yes.
right? And she assumes a certain stance.
Can you elaborate?
Well, you were there. What stance did she assume?
She pointed a gun at my face and pulled the trigger.
And yesterday when you were being questioned, you assumed a two-handed stance to show that, didn't you?
That's correct.
And what do you call that kind of a stance?
I don't know.
Like a modified Weaver stance?
Yes.
So she assumes a modified Weaver stance. Can you stand up and a modified Weaver stance? That's just what it's called.
Okay.
Can you demonstrate to us what a modified Weaver stance looks like?
Do you want me to stand up and show you? Sure.
So are you asking him just in general?
Just to show the stance in general first, yes, Judge, thank you.
So she grabs it, comes up, pulls the trigger.
That's not, I don't think that's what he was asking you, but.
So just what's the modified Weaver stance? What is it?
Here.
And can you describe it? What are you doing when you do a modified Weaver stance?
Strong side. Strong side. All right. So if I'm a righty, this is my strong side. That's going to grab the pistol, and I use my support hand to support the weapon.
Are you righty?
I'm sorry?
Are you righty?
I am.
You can have a seat, thank you.
Thanks.
And you're saying that Ms. Fitzsimmons had the gun in that kind of a stance?
Yes.
And how far was the gun away from your face?
It was right outside of arm's length.
So she's 3 feet away. She assumes the modified Weaver stance, so she's probably another foot or two towards you, right?
She stepped to the left. I don't know if she stepped towards me.
Well, your testimony was that she immediately lifted the gun to you and
Yes.
pulled the trigger and tried to shoot you right in the face.
Yes.
So the gun didn't go off,
No.
and there she is with the gun there. The guns didn't go off, and you're within feet of her and the gun that didn't go off, right?
That's correct.
And you didn't just grab her, did you?
No, I was in complete shock. And then she started backpedaling immediately and trying to tap and rack that weapon.
Right. So your testimony is that Kelsey goes from a wounded bird shaking uncontrollably to a female movie action hero, doesn't she?
Those aren't my words.
That's your description of what happened, isn't it?
I didn't describe that either in
So
those words.
she gets the gun. She tries to murder you in the face.
Yes.
5 minutes after she has you feed her baby.
Yes.
She pulls the trigger, nothing happens.
Yes. It went click.
She stands up, right?
She was already standing.
So as she's standing, she shoots you. She tries to shoot you in the face.
Yes. And then she started to backpedal.
So first she backpedals, then she sidesteps. She tap racks again, right?
Yes.
So in all this time, this is like the longest tap rack in history, isn't it?
It's 4 seconds.
So she gets up. She sidestep first or backpedal first?
Backpedals.
So she backpedals first.
And then
How many
sidestep.
steps?
I would say maybe 4 or 5, and then maybe another 3, 4, or 5 to her left, which is my right.
So she goes into action. She tapping the magazine and then racking the gun while she's moving around?
Yes, she's a well-trained police officer
Who's a whack job?
who tried to kill me.
So, let's get the order straight. You said that she backpedals first,
Yes, after she pulled the trigger.
and nothing happens.
Yes,
And then she taps the magazine
yes.
and then racks the slide.
I believe her hand slipped off. That's when she went in, and I was giving her commands, don't do it. And she re-racked and started to bring her right arm up.
And then she does it again, right?
Yes,
And you actually have no idea whether she successfully racked it the first time or successfully racked it the second time, correct?
that's correct.
You don't know what happened.
No, I don't.
And so it takes a few seconds to take 4 or 5 or whatever steps back towards the air conditioner, right?
From beginning to end, once she pulled the gun on me and pulled the trigger, and by the time I shot her, it was right around 4 seconds total, if not 3.5. It was very fast.
So she goes from shaking uncontrollably, sad about her situation, crying, to being pretty nimble.
She wasn't crying.
She walks, she backpedals, you said, right?
That's correct.
Then she sidesteps
Yes,
to the air conditioner. And you had a look of panic on your face at that time, didn't you?
no,
You were flustered, weren't you?
no.
Well, you were in shock 5 minutes later, weren't you?
After the incident and my adrenaline dumped, yeah, I was in shock then.
So, at the time, getting back to the incident, Kelsey's by the air conditioner. She's backpedaled, she's sidestepped, she tapped, she racked, she tapped, she racked, and then you shoot her.
Yes.
And you shot 2 shots. Where are we on the rapid succession? Which one do you want to go with? Rapid succession, or you shot, gave commands, and shot again? Which is it?
I was given commands and shooting at the same time.
Okay. Well, your prior testimony was that you shot, you pulled the trigger, gave commands, and you pulled the trigger again.
Yes.
So was it that, or was it boom, boom, rapid succession?
It all happened in 4 seconds or less.
So you're a very well-trained SWAT officer, yes?
Yes.
You're a firearms instructor.
No.
You're a patrol instructor, where you instruct
What's a
other
patrol?
officers on the job, right?
Field training officer.
Field training officer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And you've been doing this for 25 years,
No.
20 years.
Right around there, yes.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 20 years. And one of your thought processes was that you wanted to give your training and experience back to the North Andover PD where you started, right?
Yes, and come back where I started.
And here, your first shot, you missed her from about 7 feet away.
I did. It was longer than 7 feet. It was at that point about 15 feet,
15 feet.
I would say.
Do you have any measurements on this?
No, but if you remove the bed and you were to walk diagonal from where I shot, it was probably around 15.
So the first shot you missed her and you hit the air conditioner. Is that right? Or do
I
you know?
didn't. I didn't know where it went.
Okay. And the fact is that we have only one spent projectile in this case, right?
I'm sorry.
We only have one spent projectile in this case, correct?
I don't know what state police collected.
You weren't curious as to any of the paperwork or anything that happened in the case?
I believe they told me that there was one on the bed and one on the floor, I think. But I don't know where that one projectile comes from.
Did you know that there was one in the curtain next to the air conditioner?
No.
Have you looked at any photos from this at all?
Some, yes.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
May I approach her?
Yes.
Just a photo.
Yes.
person. Thank you, sir.
We'll get it for you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you for the record, Exhibit 49, sir. See that?
Yes, that's the entrance to her bedroom.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of kind of the stuff that was there at the time?
I didn't see any of that at the time because I was facing forward. That's a completely different angle.
Well, that's the area where you say that she lunged to, right?
There, yes, that would have been my left. Yep.
Now, at some point, there was a safe there, wasn't there? A green safe.
I have no idea what was there.
Didn't you speak with Officer Kaur at the scene?
Yes, I did.
And Officer Kaur, you said that you ordered him to do something. You remember that?
I did.
You ordered him to take the gun and get it out of there?
Secure it.
And what were you doing at the time you ordered him to do that?
Rendering aid to Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
So you're over by the bed. He would have had to go in that area to get the firearm and secure it, right?
So I placed the firearm. You can't see the right side of the door frame. So if you were to walk into that bedroom and look right, there's some sort of, I don't know, nightstand or something. I put the weapon right there.
I'll show you Exhibit 75. Is this the...
Oh, it's the white, yes, that's it.
Is that where you put the firearm?
On top of that.
Now, let's
I'm
just
sorry,
go...
that's exhibit what?
75, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So, let's talk about who touched the firearm. So Daly picks up the firearm, right?
Yes.
And the firearm was under Kelsey's leg, correct?
I don't know where it was. I was covering down. I know he flipped her over and found the weapon. I don't recall where it was.
Okay. You heard, strike that. So, your testimony is that Kelsey's racking the gun, sidestepping, backpedaling, tap rack, and at some point she points the gun at you, right?
Her arm started to come up towards me.
Okay. So it's fair to say that she's back again, like we said earlier. She's starting to do this, right?
No weaver stance.
Okay, so one hand.
It was.
Is that the FBI crouch? What do you call that? Is that
A one-handed.
okay? It's not called the FBI crouch?
I've never heard that term.
Okay. So she starts to point the gun at you. So we agree then that the gun is out in front of her, right?
It was in the upward position. It was coming up towards me. When I fired my second round, I saw her kind of buckle, and she lowered her weapon, and I stopped shooting, and then she went to the ground.
You hit her in the chest. She goes flying back and lands on her back, right?
She didn't go flying back.
She landed on her back, correct?
She went down to the ground. I don't know which way she went. I think she crouched over.
Well, you knew she was on her back, didn't you?
I don't remember. As far as that goes, that's kind of a blur.
So the idea that she's got the gun out in front of her, she falls on her back. If the gun's underneath her, is this some sort of a magic gun?
I don't know where you're getting at.
Doesn't it make sense that if the gun is out here and she receives a force of a 9mm bullet pushing her back this way, how does the gun get all the way behind her and under her leg?
I have no idea. It's the way she fell.
So So back to the notion of who touches the gun. Daly picks up the gun, right?
Yes.
Daly puts it on the bed, correct?
Yes.
And you don't like that?
I don't. It's too close to her.
Okay. Well, she's sitting there with a gunshot wound to her chest, with you there and Daly there. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes.
So then you touch the gun, right?
I do.
And then you move it to the white shelf, bookshelf.
Yes.
And then Core arrives. And
Yes.
then you tell Core to grab the gun and secure it, right?
I do.
And then Core has it. Does he take it into the hallway?
Maybe. I remember just focusing my attention on Kelsey.
Sure, understandable. So you're focusing on Kelsey and you're giving her first aid.
Yes. Well, Lieutenant Daly was starting to work on her.
Well, is it fair to say that at first you still had your gun on her, but then you helped with the first aid?
Yes.
Okay.
Afterwards.
So that was your primary focus, was once you felt that she was not a threat to you on your testimony, you started to assist with the first aid, right?
Yes.
And you and Daly are rendering first aid, and then Core comes, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you say, get that out of here, secure the gun.
Yep. Make it safe.
Okay, so it's fair to say that Core does that, but your attention is not on what he's doing, it's on rendering first aid, right?
That's correct.
So you don't have any knowledge or observation of what Core did with the firearm, right?
No.
At some point, are you aware that Core takes the green safe and the firearm out into the hallway?
I didn't see him do any of that.
I'll show you Exhibit 51. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
So Exhibit 51 is the left side of the door frame where you say that Kelsey lunged, right?
That's correct.
Is that how it looked when she lunged over there?
I didn't see that when I was in the hallway.
Do you know anything about that shoebox with the orange lining?
I have no idea.
Do you remember seeing that chest with the brown leather trim on it?
I thought it was an end table when I walked out of the room.
Do you think that the gun came from any of those areas there?
With how quick she grabbed it, I think it came from that box, but I don't know.
Here's Exhibit 36. That's a picture of the stairway, right?
Yes.
It's pretty narrow.
Yes.
And you went up to the top, and you were at that landing, right?
That's correct.
You never entered Kelsey's room?
No.
So you said that you were shocked that Kelsey was quickly grabbing a gun and putting it in your face?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you that she'd gotten the drop on you, right?
Yes.
And at that point, you feared for your life, you say, right?
Absolutely.
And you panicked, and you shot her.
No.
Well, you missed her from just a few feet away.
It's hard to shoot a moving target or anything moving.
Are you aware of the Post Commission?
Yes.
And you know that the Post Commission has issued regulations that are in the Code of Massachusetts Regulations.
Yes.
And you know that it's prohibited to use deadly force on a person who is exhibiting a danger only to themselves.
Absolutely.
And you knew that on June 30th, 2025, didn't you?
I've known that since I graduated the police academy in 2006, or even before.
Right. And you went in there thinking that Kelsey was dangerous and had guns and you might get into it, right?
That's inaccurate.
And that's why you had your gloves on, isn't it?
No.
You were ready to get wet.
No.
I'm sorry, ready to get what?
Get wet, Your Honor. And that's when you had to adjust the narrative, isn't that true?
No.
So you're going to maintain that you got into a gunfight with somebody who was your colleague, right?
Yes.
Who had just given you her baby to feed 5 minutes earlier
Yes.
of her own volition.
Yes.
She developed some sort of a homicidal animus towards you for what Justin Elaine just did to her, right?
I don't think it was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know Justin was in the house. I think I was standing in her way for her to get downstairs and kill Justin.
I assume this is in hindsight.
Hindsight, yeah.
If I could just have one moment, please, Your Honor.
Take your time.
Did you have a taser?
I did.
Did you think maybe to use the taser when she pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go off?
No. You meet deadly force with deadly force.
She's 3 feet away from you?
Yes.
Could have just grabbed her, couldn't you?
No.
And if there was deadly force, you wouldn't have stopped at 2 shots, would you? You would have emptied that magazine right into her.
I stopped when she stopped. And that's what I'm trying to do. Stop the threat. Not empty a mag.
What were some of the things that she asked you to bring downstairs?
I think there was a basket of books, and I believe some clothes. I think she put them in a car seat.
What did you say to her when she asked you to bring them downstairs?
I said, we'll deal with that later, and I put them down.
What was her reaction?
She just kept packing stuff.
So you said that you were, you started your career in the North Andover Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
And you left for the Lawrence Police Department in what year?
2011.
And then you were on the SWAT team from 2019 to 2024, correct?
That's correct.
And that you left North Andover to get a faster pace, right? What do you mean by a faster pace?
Busier. Are you talking about when I left North Andover to go to Lawrence, or?
Yes.
A busier atmosphere.
More action.
More calls for service.
More what, I'm sorry?
Calls for service.
Calls for service.
I wanted more experience.
And you were there for how long?
In Lawrence?
Yeah.
From 2011 to 2024.
2024, you go back to North Andover, correct?
Yes.
And you said that you wanted to bring your training and experience back to where it all started, right?
Yes.
Meaning you wanted to offer officers at North Andover the benefit of your training and experience, correct?
Correct.
You said that you only have 10 years left, getting older, the slower pace is what's needed, right?
Yes.
So, is it fair to say that the stress of a busy urban department was getting to you?
No.
Well, you did tell Kelsey that you had PTSD, didn't you?
Absolutely not.
So slower pace, and you just wanted to grace the department with your training and experience, correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Judge, I told counsel that I would ask for a sidebar before the next topic.
Sure. So, as I stated at sidebar, we should discuss in open court what was raised at sidebar, which we will do outside of Officer Nunan's presence. So we're going to take a break so that Officer Nunan can stand down. In the meantime, I want to direct this to the folks, the audience members. In case you weren't here yesterday, you should know there should be no recording, audio, video, photographs by anyone at all other than our couple of media representatives that have expressed permission, okay? If you are caught doing so, you will be removed from this courtroom and the courthouse and told not to come back, okay? Do we understand each other? Thank you. We'll take a break.
All rise.
Your Honor, we're back on record on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter. All counsel and the defendant are present.
Okay. All right. Just for the record, Officer Nunan is not in the courtroom, correct?
No,
Okay. Mr. Brado, do you have additional counsel sitting with you?
Judge, yes, thank you. I wanted to introduce Ryan Leonard and Julie Hess. They're attorneys that are working with us in the probate court, and I wanted to ask if it would be all right if they were up here, because they've been assisting us with various factual matters. Would that be all right with the court if they sit here?
Conwell, can you take a position?
No, but if they file appearances in this case.
Yeah, I think you'll have to file these limited appearances for the day. That's fine. And let me just let me get your names. I'm sorry, your names again?
Julie Hess, H-E-S-S.
And you?
Ryan Leonard, L-E-O-N-A-R-D.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let me just discuss what we were, or just raise what we were discussing at Sidebar. So, Mr. Brado came to Sidebar, asked for permission to explore three areas on his cross of Officer Nunan. The Commonwealth reminded me that this topic or topics are addressed in a motion in limine that the Commonwealth filed prior to trial that I deferred ruling on, which is paper 62, Commonwealth's motion in limine to prohibit questioning regarding current duty status. Mr. Brado, let me just start by paraphrasing what I think the three areas are.
Yes, sir.
And then you can tell me. You wish to explore three areas on cross with Officer Nunan on the grounds that the areas could show or do show that he was offered promises, inducements, or rewards for his testimony, right? That's the theory. Yep. The first being, generally speaking, that he was not drug tested after the shooting. Is that what you're saying?
That's
okay.
right, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
It was a town policy. It's a town policy that after there's a serious incident, that the town would drug test the officers involved.
Okay, so number two, and I may not have these in the order that you raised them. Number two was that essentially you allege Officer Nunan missed a shift sometime after the shooting. Perhaps it was, let's say, medication related, generally speaking. And number three, that Mr. Nunan, Officer Nunan allegedly was placed on administrative leave, but allowed to work details, and that you believe that to be in violation of some policy or CBA
yes,
or something.
Your Honor. You're either a policeman who can work or you're a policeman who can't work, and you can't be performing details in uniform as a policeman while you're out on critical incident leave because you can't work.
All right. So generally speaking, we did address some of this pre-trial in the sense that there was a Rule 17 motions, right, by the defense to get Officer Nunan's IAD files from Lawrence and North Andover PDs, which I believe Officer Nunan agreed, which is really unprecedented in my view, agreed to provide a waiver for him to get those. So, Mr. Brado, so did you get the files that you were seeking, the IAD files?
Yes.
Okay. And so let's just go through each point. The first point about the alleged, well, let me say this, is I stand by what I said. The Commonwealth argues that these areas or these questions, strike that, that there's no view of the evidence that could show that any of these three things would be promises, inducements, or rewards under our rules, because whatever the North Andover Police Department did, they did as a product of their own administrative duties, and has nothing to do with the prosecution team, and there were no promises made in exchange for his testimony. So I'm sure that Ms. Moriarty could articulate that much better than I did, but let me try to cut to the chase. I agree with the Commonwealth, as I said before at the Rule 17 hearing, but I think arguably, and I want to hear you folks, that they could be asked, again, I need to drill down more, but they could be asked to show some kind of bias in the sense that North Andover Police, let's say, allegedly, and Officer Nunan are trying to curry favor with one another in lieu of their in lieu of his testimony here. Okay, let's just say arguably for a moment. But let's just go back now, Mr. Brado. What's your basis for saying that, for alleging that he wasn't drug tested and that there's some policy, or does the Commonwealth concede?
The Commonwealth concedes he wasn't drug tested, but that the Commonwealth's position is that that's not a policy, that there's no violation of any policy because the collective bargaining unit policy trumps the general personnel policy of the city. And so, in that way, there's no promise rewards. Can I put something else?
Yeah, please, please.
Right in my paper as I'm
Sure.
doing it. I think, again, this goes to promises, rewards, or inducements. Officer Nunan provided grand jury testimony and a recorded interview to the Commonwealth days and then in August. And all of these incidents happened well subsequent to that.
I understand.
And there's no claim that Officer Nunan has substantially changed his testimony from what he stated in grand jury or what he told the police on July 3rd. So again, there's no plausible showing or consideration in exchange for his testimony that has been remarkably consistent since July 3rd.
Okay. What do you say to
Is
that?
remarkably consistent?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think that's really the issue right here.
No, it is because the Commonwealth raises a good point. So even on
Take a
even
crack
on
at
well
the
even
other
on,
side of it.
No, even on my theory, and just give me a moment. Sure. Even on my theory that arguably, let's say that each side, again, not the Essex DA's office or the prosecution team under Rule 14, but let's say the police department and Officer Nunan are trying to curry favor with one another. Ms. Moriarty does make a valid point that there still needs to be some showing that he's changed his story.
Sure. I know that's a familiar topic that we all use in this area. Oh, they didn't change their testimony. That's not this, and here's why. This is a reward. It's after the fact. They're giving him rewards for his cooperation to keep him happy, so he does well, so he's economically enriched, so he's treated nicely, and it's a reward. That's why that doesn't apply here, Judge. He is being rewarded for his continued cooperation. It's not the typical one that we often deal with.
No, but let me just push back on that. So he's cooperative, but does his testimony? But he gave I think this is what I heard, is he gave a recorded statement to the state police a few days after the shooting, right? So he's being rewarded for cooperation, for doing his legal duty, that is, show up when he's summoned to testify in open court?
I think the fact that there's a legal duty attached to someone testifying doesn't eliminate the fact that you can be rewarded for what you're doing. You can get special treatment outside the rules. And I think that goes to the heart of cross-examination, where if someone has a rule made up just for them, that they can be a cop on a detail, but they don't have to be on the schedule because they're out on leave because they can't perform their job, that's a remarkable, unprecedented, in my research and investigation, an unprecedented accommodation.
Well, is it unprecedented, or is it a legally binding part of the CBA?
No, it's in violation of that.
Okay, so I don't, go ahead, Ms. Moriarty.
Judge, and I'm frankly less concerned about this issue where you're the fact finder. I think it's the right thing to do is to keep this as we would treat any other witness, where it doesn't matter what employment decision the North Andover Police and Officer Nunan have, that's the employment decisions, just like IA files, are not part of the prosecution team, are not part of Rule 14. North Andover couldn't promise Officer Nunan something without the approval of the district attorney's office. So I think that, again, that interplay, if there is any interplay there, has nothing to do with Officer Nunan's testimony here today.
Okay, but Mr. Bradle says that this absence of drug testing was in contravention of the CBA?
I don't think he hasn't brought forward the CBA. He has no good faith basis to ask these questions.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Bradle, let's move on to the second point. Your second point is that Mr. Nunan, Officer Nunan allegedly missed a shift related to some medication. Let's leave, I don't need to know more, I mean, I know more because you've articulated at Sidebar, but we don't need to rehash that.
Okay.
And you're saying, I think somewhere in your paperwork, that as a result of that missing the shift, I think you referred to it as AWOL, he received a written reprimand as opposed to some more significant action, adverse action. Correct? Is that generally what your theory is?
Generally, yes, Your Honor, with a little more elaboration if I could.
Please.
So, we've had a number of whistleblowers from the department approach us with information. And as a result of that, I will proffer to the court that I have a good faith basis to assert that...
Hold on a second. To assert generally what...
Your
sources, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make sure that no witness's reputation is attacked and destroyed for on an illegal issue that I end up denying. All right. So I'm not saying that that's the case here, but let's just say, okay, let's skip you have a good faith basis to ask this. Okay. You say you have a whistleblower, et cetera. So you're saying that this again shows what? That he's receiving favorable treatment?
Rewards for his continued cooperation, Your Honor. That's correct. That doesn't have anything to do with changing his testimony or not changing his testimony. That he's being lavished with rewards. He is, that this, and I won't say anything relative to any of his conduct, but that this reprimand letter was not going to be issued, and that at some point it was sort of a after the fact thing that it was in fact issued for appearance's sake, and that originally there was going to be no sanction whatsoever and no exploration into the, and I won't say it, but the reasons why he missed a shift. Okay,
so let's say there that the proposed question is, Officer Nunan, isn't it true that on such and such a date, you overslept because of some medication, you missed a shift, you were deemed AWOL, and you only received a public a written reprimand when policy called for you to be subject to the death penalty. And so that's the question.
Right.
And he says yes, no, okay. Then what? Let's say he says no, that's not true.
Well, we have the letter, Your Honor. At a minimum, we have that.
All right. So, all right. And then the last item is that he was put on administrative leave and allowed to work details in violation of policy.
Right.
And you're saying that that's an ongoing?
That's my information, Judge, is that he was working details, and
what's the source of your information?
Another whistleblower, Your Honor. And they come to me in good faith, and
And have you vetted these whistleblowers?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, frankly, if this was a jury trial, and I realize I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth again, because I said yesterday we're going to treat this just like a jury trial. If this was a jury trial, this would be an easy decision. The decision would be not even close on your proffer, denied. The objection would be sustained. I'm going to allow one question each as to each of these areas. Mr. Brado, you'll accept whatever the testimony is under oath to that answer to that question. I'll just remind you, because I'm reminding you, I'm really saying this for our audience, not you personally, but I'll just remind counsel that questions of witnesses are not evidence. The evidence is their answers. So that's what will be used or could possibly be used in your closing argument. I'm going to allow one question each as to these areas, and you'll have to live with the answer that is provided under oath. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you need to speak with Officer Nunan about this before he returns Commonwealth?
No, Your Honor, please.
Okay. Okay. All right. So he may resume the stand, Officer Nunan. Thank you, Officer Nunan. Mr. Brado, you may continue your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, I want to ask you some questions about some of the treatment you've gotten by the North Andover Police Department since this incident.
Sure.
Okay. Now, after this incident, immediately after this incident, you were not drug tested by the town or the police department, correct?
No.
All right, and you're aware that's a policy of the town?
That I don't know.
You don't know the town policy?
As far as the drug testing, no.
Now, you also are on critical incident leave right now, or words to that effect, right?
Yes.
And that means that you're not able to perform the duties of a police officer for the time being, so you get put on leave, right?
Yes.
And yet, at the same time, you're being permitted to work as a police officer on paid details. Isn't that true?
Yes, that was our union.
So it's just it's a yes or no question.
Yes.
All right. And that is an accommodation that was made via a side, may I inquire, Your Honor, or?
We've already gone past one question.
Yeah, sustained. Next question.
That is something that is not ordinarily permitted, is it?
Sustained, no. You've gotten your answer, okay? Mr.
Okay.
Bradle, next question.
All right. Now, you also were absent without leave from a shift recently, correct?
Back in January, yep.
And with respect to that, there was a reprimand letter issued to you, correct?
That's correct.
And at first, that wasn't going to issue, was it?
Let me just hear the question. What I was really expecting was one long leading question each, but that's all right. You're breaking it up. Let me just hear the question. Officer Nunan, please don't answer it until I hear it.
So
Go ahead.
The question, Judge, is that reprimand letter that appeared in your file was originally not going to issue against you, was it?
All right. That's the question?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to live with the answer?
Yes.
All right. Yes or no?
I have no idea. I was just called in one day to sign it.
Okay.
So I have no idea if it was or was not.
All right. So,
Okay, that's all I have then, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
In that area, you're not done with cross? Right? I'm assuming that you're...
In that area, right,
All
in
thank
terms of rewards, Judge, yes, that's all I
Thank you.
have. Now, I want to circle back on a couple of things. You gave a recorded statement to the state police on July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
And we talked back and forth about your belief or your expressed intent to section her, and you said that wasn't the case, right?
Can you ask that again?
Yeah, you said that there was discussion about sectioning her, but that wasn't your your thought process, or you didn't know about her or whatever, right?
When we discussed it, behind the school, it was brought up that she may not take this well, she may have to get sectioned. She was sectioned prior, so.
So here you're saying that it was a speculative possibility, is that fair to say?
It could have been a possibility depending on how she took the restraining order, respectfully.
And Judge, if I may, I'd like to play a recording from the state police interview from July 3rd.
For impeachment purposes?
Yes.
All right, any objection? Okay, sure. We should probably, we need to mark it for ID at least, unless you're seeking to admit it, but let's take it a step.
I'm just I'd be playing a prior inconsistent statement, Judge, for.
Okay, so we're going to have to mark it for ID. I don't know, do you have a mechanism to be able to do that? Is it on a thumb drive or something that can be marked? If you're not able to do so today, tomorrow morning, just please bring in the recording that's being played and we'll mark it.
Certainly.
Okay? All right.
Fiance had just taken out a restraining order, and we were there to serve it, confiscate her firearms, and then we were going to section her.
So that's what you said on July 3rd, that we were going to section her, right?
Yes.
So at the time, you had it in your head that she was someone who needed to be sectioned, right?
If that's what I said in the statement, then yes.
In other words, somebody who was mentally ill and a danger to themselves or others, right?
Yes.
And that never panned out, right?
No, it didn't,
Because she was shot in the chest and went to the hospital for 53 days, right?
because she tried to kill me.
Now, I asked you earlier about whether or not you talked to Ms. Fitzsimmons about PTSD type symptoms. You recall that?
No, I don't.
You recall me asking
Oh, you
here
asking,
today?
yes.
And isn't it true that you went on a call with her in August of 2024 that was a extremely difficult call involving a murder-suicide where the murder was of a baby?
Yes, that was horrific.
And you and Kelsey went to that call, right?
With other officers, yes.
And you had shared some texting after that, right?
Yes, I was being a senior officer trying to help out a rookie go through a traumatic event.
And your phone number, I don't want to give out the phone number, but it's fair to say that you had, Kelsey had your phone number.
Yes. I think we were all in a group text.
And it's a 978, I'll just leave it there.
That's correct.
Okay. And so in that text, you said to Kelsey, relating to your past career, I spiraled down a rabbit hole, a very dark place. This happened years later in my career. We can speak in person about that. I have a guy I've been going to for years, like 10. And when I feel like I'm off, I call him, and all I have to say is, I need a tune-up, and he does me in. Right?
I don't recall that, but if that came from my number, then I had that conversation with her. I don't remember that at all.
All right. May I approach her?
Yeah.
And I apologize, I have to do this on the cell phone. This just came up this morning. I can show counsel.
Okay.
May I approach her?
Yes.
So, I'm going to
show you some of these two screenshots, first of all. First of all, that's a
Yep.
contact, and that's your phone number, and it says Nunan, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so this is the text I want to show you.
Which one? This one right here?
Yeah. And you can scroll up and down if you want, but this is, the black part is you, and the blue part is Kelsey, right? You can get some context.
Wait, I'm in blue?
Kelsey's in
Oh,
blue.
Kelsey's
and
in
you'd
blue.
be in black, yeah.
So can I just make an observation? So you asked the witness about this particular text, about essentially that perhaps he had therapy and needed a tune-up, et cetera.
Yes.
He said his answer was he basically is not contesting the
Yes.
authenticity of that. So what are we doing now?
Well, it's tricky, Judge, from where I sit, it's tricky that when a witness says, well, if that's what it says, so I feel like I need to establish that's what it says, that's all.
Okay,
And so,
fair enough.
and I think I can leave it there. Officer, is that what it says, what I suggested?
Yes, it does.
And so, we agree that you communicated that to Kelsey?
Yes.
And we can agree that that's pretty personal stuff to share with somebody that you say that you didn't know very well, isn't it?
Again, senior officer, she's going through a lot. I was just trying to be there for her. And that was one horrific call.
And we agree that that's something that can create very profound bonding between officers when you have a common tragedy that you have to deal with.
Yes, but you move on. You go back to work.
I want to go back to the bedroom where Kelsey's on the floor and you stop holding the gun on her. You assist Lieutenant Daly with first aid.
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked by the ADA, what did she say when she was on the floor? Recall that?
I
Just
don't
yes or-
remember
just
that.
Yes or no, just the context of being asked that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. And see if this refreshes your memory. You said that she said, it hurts. She said it hurts. I, meaning you, said, keep breathing, you have a baby to live for.
Yes.
Right? And that was your testimony about what she said and what you said, right?
Yes.
And that was the truth?
Yes.
And that was the whole truth?
Yes.
Now, when you were interviewed by Attorney Bennett of the CIC investigation,
Yes.
you painted quite a different picture, didn't you?
No.
You had something to add that made you look good, didn't you?
No.
You said to Attorney Bennett, if I could have one moment, Judge, I just want to get this exactly right. Just need a moment, all right?
No problem, take your time.
page 11, counsel? The 80-something page report, 90-page report? With respect to the CIC report, you did say the part that she was saying it hurt. I told her to just keep breathing. Do you recall that?
Sure.
You have a son, you know you want to be here for your kid. Does that ring a bell?
I didn't hear that last.
I'm sorry, you have a son, you know you want to be here for your kid.
Okay.
You said that to Mr. Bennett?
If it's there, yes.
Then you added something quite memorable that you didn't say here in court, isn't that correct?
You tell me what's in it. I don't know.
You said that she reached up, she grabbed my hand, I held her hand, consoled her, and then I asked her, why? And she stopped talking and just literally just looked right through me, death stare.
If
That's
it's there,
what you
then
said.
yes. If it's there, that's what I said.
And you didn't say that here in court today, did you?
I didn't remember. I totally forgot about that.
You forgot about something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing further on
I'm sorry. No more? You're done?
Yes.
Okay, redirect.
So I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 57. Is that a better picture of that
Yes.
area that you put the gun,
Yes.
that Officer Court took?
Yes.
You also stated just during cross-examination that you knew Ms. Fitzsimmons had been sectioned before, correct?
That's correct.
And did you know that before the call?
I did.
Okay. And did that factor into how you were assessing the situation in the house?
Yes.
Did that factor into the team, you, Houston, and Daly, about the fact that you were never going to take your eyes off her?
That's correct.
Okay. Counsel had asked you about the first time you making a statement about what happened was July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell anybody what happened before that?
Before
I didn't
July?
hear that.
Oh, sure, I'll say it again. Counsel had asked you whether you had, the first time you made a statement about what happened in the room was July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell Officer Corr what happened?
I did.
Did you tell Lieutenant Daly what happened?
I did.
Did you tell Officer Houston what happened?
I did.
What did you say?
I said she tried to shoot me.
Thank you. Nothing else.
Objection, Judge, that's hearsay, and I have a motion to strike.
Okay, it's overruled. Do you have recross?
No, Your Honor.
I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not, Mr. Braille, I'm not, I did not allow that last statement in for the truth, just for state of mind,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, and to rehabilitate as well. All right, no further questions for Officer Nunan from either side? I take the silence as a no. Thank you very much. You may step down, and Commonwealth, you can call your next witness. Sorry.
Judge, can we approach sidebar before the witness departs?
Before the witness departs,
Right.
oh, you are almost out of here. You didn't move quick. You didn't move fast enough. All right, yeah, we can go to sidebar. Call your next witness.
Stephen Corr.
Could you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. You can have a seat. Or I guess good morning still.
Good morning, Your Honor.
If I may.
Yes, please.
Sir, in a loud, clear voice, can you please introduce yourself and spell your first name and your last name?
Good morning. My name is Officer Stephen Corr. Stephen spelled S-T-E-V-E-N. Last name is Corr, C-O-R-R.
And what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a police officer with the town of North Andover.
And how long have you been doing that?
About 15 years.
Okay, what are your duties and responsibilities now?
I'm on patrol 4 to 12 shift. We respond to everything, 911 calls, domestics, motor vehicle accidents. If somebody calls the police, we answer.
Okay, I'm going to turn your attention back to June 30th of last year. You were working that day?
Correct.
Okay, at some point in the early evening, did you get a call to go somewhere? Or did you get a call that you decided to respond to?
There was a call. We had several officers involved in a document service.
Okay.
I was assisting another officer at a time with an arrest.
Okay, and the document service was a restraining order?
Correct.
Fair to say that was being served on Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
Yes.
Okay, did you know where she lived?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was about to say I didn't hear your answer, but he repeated it, so you knew where she lived.
I do. Yes, correct.
Sorry, we're having trouble hearing the gentleman too. If you could
Well,
just
I'm
try to
sorry.
keep your
Excuse me.
voice up. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you said you were on another call, correct?
Correct.
Whereabouts was that?
It was down the road on Waverly Road by the cemetery.
At some point, did you receive information that necessitated your presence at Ms. Fitzsimmons' residence?
After I had cleared that call with another officer, I had saw on the control board in my cruiser that they were getting out at that residence, and I started floating that way prior to receiving radio transmissions.
Okay. And before you got there, did you receive another transmission?
I did.
Okay, what was that?
I believe it was Lieutenant Daly had called off, and in the background it was just a woman screaming and him saying shots fired.
Okay. And so did you head that way?
I did.
When you got there, was anybody else outside when you got there?
There was another person in a small red car that had pulled up next to me as I had gotten out. I spoke with her briefly about somebody running down the street with a child.
Okay. Had you seen that person running down the street yourself?
I did not, no.
So what did you do after you stopped?
After I stopped, I grabbed my med bag and I radioed up to Lieutenant Daly. I said, where are you, sir? And he answered me on the radio, said, upstairs. I think he said upstairs.
Had you ever been in that residence before?
I have not, no.
Okay. So where did you go?
I went in the porch on the left side, went in through the front door. I could hear a female screaming. I think I went inside and asked her, where are they? And she said, they're upstairs. I went upstairs. And there's a weird kind of layout of the house where you come in the front door and the stairs are right behind it.
Okay. Now, you said the woman screaming. Was that the woman downstairs was screaming?
Woman downstairs, a living room, family room on the left, yes.
Okay. You went upstairs?
Correct.
When you got upstairs, what did you see initially?
I got upstairs. There was a landing way with a left exit and a right exit. There was two doors. I could hear commotion on the right side, so I entered that doorway.
Okay, and who did you see when you entered that doorway?
I saw Lieutenant Daly, I saw Officer Nunan, and Officer Houston.
Okay. What were they doing?
They were performing first aid, rendering aid to Ms. Fitzsimmons.
Okay. At some point, did Officer Nunan ask you to do something?
He did.
What was that?
He pointed right where his hand had been, and he said, secure that firearm. And I had looked down, there was a firearm sitting on I want to say a white-looking bookshelf.
Okay. Was that near the door?
Correct.
I can't find that picture right now. Here we go. I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 57. Do you recognize that?
I do, yes.
And what is that?
That was where the firearm was located on top of that white-looking bookshelf. I guess it's not a bookshelf, but...
So this is the room you entered, correct?
Correct.
And this is the door you went in?
Correct.
And is this the area where the gun was?
That's where the gun I saw was, yes.
Okay. And so you didn't know anything about the gun at the time, whether it was loaded or not, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, so what did you do?
I had gloves on at the time. I picked up the firearm. There was a small black box on the bed. I saw that was an open box where I could store the firearm because I knew paramedics and fire department was going to be coming in that room. It's not a huge room, so I wanted to get it out of the way so it wouldn't be trampled, wouldn't be disrupted or anything. I took the firearm, I looked at the box, there was nothing in it. I kind of did one of these motions to make sure there was nothing in it, put it down, I dropped the magazine out of it.
And what does that mean, dropping the magazine?
I hit this release button on the side of the firearm. It takes out all the bullets that are in the magazine.
Okay. Bullets stay in the magazine.
The bullets are in the magazine, correct. And then after that, I racked the slide, had it sideways, and I emptied a round out of the chamber into that box.
Okay, so there were a magazine with a number of bullets in it.
Correct.
The one round or bullet was racked into the chamber itself, correct?
Correct.
And then did that go in the box?
That went inside the box.
And what did you do with the firearm itself?
The firearm, I put everything in the box.
Okay.
And then brought it outside of the room.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a picture and ask if you recognize what that is.
Hold on a sec. So this image
not
on.
agreed to, so it's a picture that.
Okay.
I'm going to see to put it in.
All right. My question was, and you just answered it by your movement, was whether you wanted me to look at what was on the screen.
No.
All right. So you've handed him a photo.
Do you recognize what that is?
I do.
What is it?
It's the box that I placed the firearm on the ammunition in.
Okay, can you see the firearm, the magazine, and the round itself?
I can.
Okay. Where is the pic? What did you do with the box after you placed the items in it?
Like I said, it was a small room. The landing that was at the top of the stairs, I backed up out of that, and I put the box in the corner away where I kind of stood over it, made sure nobody messed with it as the fire department came up and down for medical aid.
Thank you. Your Honor, I offer this picture is the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. It may be admitted.
Exhibit 80, so marked.
If I may publish it.
Please.
Is that in the position where you had placed the box itself on the landing?
Yes.
You said you stood guard over it. Until when?
As they were doing rendering aid, Officer Nunan backed out of the room along with Officer Houston and I believe Lieutenant Daly. As she was being removed from the room downstairs, there started to be some issues. I asked Lieutenant Daly, who was standing next to me, I said, do you want me to go down and make sure the fire department's all set, putting her in the ambulance, make sure nobody interferes with that? And he said, yep, I'll take watch over the firearm. And he basically stood over it and made sure nobody, after I had left.
Okay. When you initially went into the room and you saw Ms. Fitzsimmons on the ground, I'm assuming?
She was blocked my view. I could see feet.
Okay.
I assumed that was her. Once everybody kind of moved out of the way and I walked in, I said, what do you guys need for help? They already had a med bag up there, but she was on the back side of the bed.
Okay. Where was Officer Nunan after the fire department left?
Standing next to me in the hallway, the landing area, I want to call it.
Did you do anything with regards to him? Did you make any observations?
I asked him if he was good. It's basically me making sure he's okay. Adrenaline's rushing. As I came up the top of the stairs, there was a little glass door on the left, and it looked like there was like a pinhole through it. I thought he might have been shot at, so I asked him, hey, did she get a round off on you? And he basically, I don't know.
Overruled only because it's been admitted and it's of marginal relevance.
Okay.
Just to explain the scene. Sure.
Nothing else.
Great of the cross?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Yes, take your time.
Officer Kaur, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, I'm sure that you memorialized all these important facts you testified to in a police report somewhere.
No, we didn't generate a police report at that time, no.
Well, I'm not asking if we did, I'm asking if you did.
I did not, no, sir.
Excuse me one moment. Do you mind going to the...
Oh, sorry.
podium only because, to make sure that the audio gets picked up.
Everything you testified to was not memorialized by you in a police report, correct?
No, I did not write a police report, no.
Now, also, you weren't interviewed until 30 days after this incident, correct?
Interviewed by who?
By the state police.
I don't remember the exact time frame.
Isn't it true that you were interviewed on July 30th?
I don't know the exact date. If that's what you say it is, then I assume you're giving me correct information.
I appreciate that. You were also working with Officer Nunan, correct?
I work with him as a coworker.
Did you work with him in that time interval?
From when the incident happened to July 30th?
July.
He's on a different shift, but yeah, I do work with him.
And did you speak with him about the case?
I don't recall if we did. I'm sure we had talked at some point about if he was okay.
Did you speak to him about what happened at the scene? Just yes or no?
At the scene we did, absolutely. We were on the same scene.
Okay. And did you speak with him in the days following?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sure we at some point talked.
And what about prior to your state police interview?
I'm sure we talked at some point.
Okay. So you spoke with him at the scene, spoke with him probably shortly after, and spoke with him prior to the interview as the interview approached. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Nothing further.
Anything you add? No. Okay. All right, thank you, officer. You may step down.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Come with you, call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michael Bonasaro, please.
You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now and hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
You may have a seat. Just pull yourself up to that mic. Thank you.
May I?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
In a nice loud voice, if you could please state your name and spell your first and last name for the record.
Sure. My name is Detective Lieutenant Michael Bonasoro. Last is spelled Bonasoro.
How are you employed?
I work for the Mass State Police.
And what is your current assignment?
I work for the Firearms Identification Section.
How long have you worked for the Massachusetts State Police generally?
Almost 20 years.
If you could give us a brief recitation of your assignments within the State Police?
All assignments are what I'm doing now.
Start from when you graduated from the academy, briefly.
All right, so graduated academy in 2006. From there, was on the road for a few years, transferred into the Firearms Identification Section, stayed there for approximately 12 years, transferred out of there, went to the Narcotics Inspection Unit for a year and a half, went to the duty office for a few months, back to the Narcotics Inspection Unit, and then to Firearms Identification Section again to work as the executive officer and now the unit commander.
And so how long has your current assignment with the Firearms Identification Unit been?
Since I've been back a little over 3 years.
What does the Firearms Identification Unit do?
So we have many responsibilities. So we respond to crime scenes, preserve the evidence, document the scene. We do microscopic comparisons of fired bullets as well as discharged casings. We attend autopsies, we destroy weapons, and we do functionality of weapon certifications.
How many troopers are assigned to your unit statewide?
There's a total of 18 of us assigned statewide.
And what are your responsibilities as the detective lieutenant in charge?
So I look at training, make sure we're up to accreditation standards for lab protocols, making sure all of our protocols are in line with the current definitions of mass general laws. I look at different aspects of how we respond to scenes, how we collect evidence, how we interpret evidence, looking at the definitions of firearms, ammunition, semi-automatic pistols, rifles, shotguns, assault weapons, different stuff like that. It's more of a managerial role. We're looking at making sure everybody has the training and authorizing them to do the casework when they have achieved all their training.
And fair to say that you still, from time to time, respond to scenes yourself?
Yes, so as of right now, we're down a few supervisors, so I took on the role of going to these more high-profile scenes to observe my other ballisticians, collect evidence, as well as do some of the hands-on work myself.
Can you briefly summarize some of the specialized training you've received over the years with respect to firearms?
Sure. So when you go into the firearms identification, it's a 2-year apprenticeship program. You work with other senior ballisticians. You're looking at casework, seeing how to do the casework, making sure it aligns with the protocols that we have documented. You're doing test fires of weapons, numerous weapons, analyzing ammunition, magazines. You go into armorers courses. You go into different conferences to look at the field of tool marks and seeing how these tools are making these markings and how they're transferring over to these discharge casings and projectiles. So it's an ongoing process of different trainings. It's training from other examiners, see what they've discovered in the field, and making sure you're up to date with all the standards.
And the armorers courses that you've gone to, have you gone to numerous with respect to the common gun manufacturers in the United States?
Yes, I've gone to several rifle, shotgun, firearm armorers courses.
Can you estimate how many weapons you've examined over the course of your career?
Hundreds.
And how many weapons have you test fired?
Over hundreds of them as well.
And do you also have the opportunity to examine ammunition as part of your work in the firearms identification unit?
Yes, looking at the components of ammunition, yes.
Okay. And one of the components of ammunition is projectiles?
Correct.
And you've examined estimate how many projectiles over the course of your career?
Thousands.
And how many scenes have you responded to?
Hundreds of scenes.
And have those been both fatal and non-fatal shooting scenes?
Yes.
Have you conducted and participated in the microscopic examination of ballistic evidence?
Yes, several.
Approximately how many times?
I would say over 100 cases.
And have you had the opportunity to testify in the courts of the Commonwealth?
Yes, several courts.
And if you could name a few of those courts.
Middlesex Superior District, Suffolk Superior District, Worcester Superior District.
And today you're in Essex?
Yes.
Okay. Before I ask you specific questions about the case, I just want to ask you some general questions about how firearms work and how ammunition works. Can you explain the components of a live round?
So you have several components. So you have the casing that encompasses everything. You have the powder that's inside of it, and then you have the projectile, and you also have the primer. So you need all these components to make ammunition. So all these components combined will make one combustible material. You'll have what's called a firing pin. It'll strike the primer. Primer will ignite the powder inside of the casing, which holds everything together. Once the gases build up from the burning of the powder, the projectile will leave that casing.
So the projectile is what's commonly known as a bullet?
Yes.
And the casing is what is often recovered at crime scenes?
It's also referred to as a discharge cartridge casing, so it's been extracted from that firearm.
Is there a way for you to determine whether a round has been discharged from a working firearm?
There is. So you're looking at the tool marks of what's left over on that discharge casing or that projectile. So originally you look at the class characteristics. Does it have the same design features as that firearm? Is in regards to a projectile, is the twist going to the left or the right based on that design feature of that firearm? If it twists to the left, it would sometimes be 6, 5, 4 right twists. So you look at these characteristics, make sure they're in line, and then move forward into what's called individual markings. as firearms are produced, they're produced by tools. As tools are making these firearms, the tools are wearing away. You also have little pieces of metal that get in front of the tools, which will create unique marks. There isn't one firearm that is the same due to the fact that you'll have material that's in front of these cutting edges.
And is it fair to say that when a cartridge is new or from the box, it does not have these particular tool marks you're looking for?
It shouldn't have any of the tool marks. It may have some type of markings, what's called bunter marks on a discharge casing. This is from stamping that live cartridge to indicate what caliber and manufacturer of that live cartridge.
Did you say what marks?
A bunter mark. A bunter mark.
Can you spell that for the court?
It's B-U-N-T-E-R.
And that's the stamp that reflects the caliber of ammunition?
The caliber as well as the manufacturer.
Thank you.
When a casing comes apart from a projectile, does it come out with velocity?
It does.
And are you able to determine anything about where a particular gun was fired based on where a casing or casings are recovered?
You can't really determine the exact location. It should land in the general vicinity of the shooter, but you also have variables if that casing was kicked or manipulated in some way, or if it deflected off another object.
And I think we just talked about this, but what does caliber refer to?
Caliber is the diameter or length of that casing.
I'd like to talk about a semi-automatic firearm. Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
And how does a semi-automatic firearm work?
So it requires a trigger pull per firing of that weapon. So you pull the trigger, it will cause either a hammer or a firing pin to move forward. It will strike the primer. After it strikes the primer, it will cause an explosion. Explosion is going to cause that slide to go backwards. The extractor is going to extract that casing, which is attached to that slide. It's going to hit what's called an ejector. The ejector is going to extract that discharge casing out of the ejection port, and it's going to continue the cycle. The slide is going to move forward now because it's under spring tension. It's going to pick up that other live cartridge that's in the magazine well and load the next live cartridge.
But does the user have to do something first before they are able to pull the trigger and have a projectile fire?
So they would have to load either manually or with a magazine. So a live cartridge has to be inserted into the chamber.
And does the slide, or does the slide have to be pulled back?
The slide has to be racked to the rear, yes.
Okay. And so the slide has to be racked to the rear just one time before the shots are fired?
Yeah, so you have to essentially cock the firearm. So you have to put some external force on that firing pin or that striker to hold it in place. When you pull the trigger, you're going to have that transfer bar or that trigger bar, whatever you want to call it, will actually drop. Will engage that trigger bar or that striker to move forward and move past the aperture, which is the circular portion, and right in front of the primer that sits in front of the chamber. So all these things have to happen, but initially you have to have a cocked firearm for it to happen. So you have to load that live cartridge and put some external force on that slide to cock it.
And is cartridge synonymous with magazine?
Cartridge versus magazine, so a cartridge would seat in a magazine.
So the cartridge holds the projectiles or casings in the magazine?
Yes.
Okay. And what part of the gun is the magazine?
So it's an external piece that's inserted into a magazine well.
So a user would take the magazine, enter a cartridge which contains the bullets, and then seat it in the handle of a semi-automatic weapon?
So the person would load the ammunition inside of the magazine. The magazine will have a spring tension as well as a follower on top. That spring tension pushes that live cartridge to the top of that magazine at all times. That live cartridge is stripped by the slide or manipulated by putting that live cartridge in the chamber manually, but ultimately you do have to cock that weapon to fire it.
I'd like to direct your attention to June 30th of last year. On that date, in the evening hours, did you get called to go somewhere?
I did.
Where did you get called to go?
To a residence in North Andover.
What information did you have when you arrived?
Information I had was there was a police-involved shooting, which required a supervisor to attend the scene.
And that's why you went?
Yes.
Okay. What time did you arrive?
I don't recall exactly what time. It was in the evening hours.
Did anyone else from your unit respond?
Yes, I had a trooper, Chris Pierce, as well as trooper Andrew Valeri.
And the three of you responded from the firearms identification unit?
Yes.
And what was your purpose on scene?
We wanted to document the scene. We wanted to inventory all personnel that were involved in the shooting, whether they fired or not, to inventory their weapons, to account for all live cartridges.
And again, is that standard procedure for an officer-involved shooting?
Yes.
When you responded, who was on scene?
There was several detectives from the Essex County Detective Unit, as well as Andover Police personnel.
North Andover Police personnel?
North Andover, yes, Mike, sorry.
Were you directed to a particular part of the house?
I was. There was a particular part in the top of the stairs where there was a firearm located in a safe, as well as a bedroom where we recovered two discharge casing as well as a projectile. And
did you or someone from your unit or someone from the state police take photographs that evening?
Yes, we had crimes scene services photograph the scene.
And what is crime scene services?
So they're a unit in Massachusetts State Police. So they document, they photograph the scene, they videotape the scene to preserve the scene, as well as do prints on firearms casings and so on, as well as footwear impression markings.
May I approach?
Yes.
Sir, I'm showing you 9 photographs. I just ask that you take a look at those and let me know when you're done.
While you're doing that, Counsel, Mr. Brady, will the defense be objecting to any of these?
I don't know what counsel has up there.
Okay, thanks. Perhaps,
I thought there was an objection.
okay, perhaps when, hold on a second. Perhaps when you're done, when the witness is done, if you can show them to Mr. Bradle, and if, to the extent that you were able to mark a few and you can object to a few, or all of them, or. Take your time, Mr. Bradle.
I understand there's no objection.
No objection.
Okay, let's have Mr. Wayne mark those individually. You said there were 9?
Exhibit 81 somewhere. Exhibit 82 somewhere. Exhibit 83 somewhere. Exhibit 84 somewhere. Exhibit 85 somewhere.
May I publish them, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm showing you first what's been marked as 81. Do you recognize that picture?
The picture dictates placard number 3. I believe there was a discharge casing around that vicinity of placard number 3.
Sir, what number was that again?
81.
81, thank you.
Is Exhibit 82 a different angle of that same, you were trying to photograph that same discharge cartridge casing?
It is.
Showing you Exhibit 83. What does picture 83 show?
Discharge cartridge casing with the close-up appearance.
Has it been moved?
I believe it has been moved.
And why would it been moved?
Where it was located, it was kind of in a confined space in the corner of the room.
Showing you Exhibit 84. Do you recognize Exhibit 84?
Yes, it's where a sprint projectile was recovered right above the air conditioning unit inside the curtains.
Exhibit 86.
I'm sorry, can you just give me one moment to just catch up?
Do you need the picture?
Do you mind putting that back on? Okay, thank you.
What does picture 80, Exhibit 86 show?
It's a close-up picture of placard number 4 of that sprint projectile that was recovered in the curtains.
And showing you Exhibit 87. What does Exhibit 87 show?
The projectile from placard number 4 that was moved for a close-up photograph.
So it's taken from the air conditioning unit and moved for this photograph?
Taken from the curtain and moved on, I believe, the bed, taken a photo of it.
Showing you Exhibit 89. What does Exhibit 89 show?
It's where a projectile possibly struck. We looked at the air conditioner inside and to the rear of it. They had a hole consistent with a strike on the outside of that air conditioner. Can't determine exactly, but it appeared to be a projectile strike, and there was another hole on the exterior or the back end of that air conditioner as well.
And is that what Exhibit 88 shows?
Yes.
And did you ever find a projectile associated with this air conditioner, the one that struck the air conditioner?
I did not.
That last photo, that one there, is that 85?
88.
I'm sorry, 88? Thank you.
Detective Lieutenant, next showing you Exhibit 76. Do you recognize what's depicted in Exhibit 76?
It appears to be another discharge cartridge casing by placard number 1.
And is Exhibit 77 a close-up of that discharge cartridge casing?
It is.
And what did you do with the discharge cartridge casings and the spent projectile that you recovered from the scene that night?
So all pieces of evidence were documented, where they were located by placard number, the time of location, who recovered that evidence, and any particular features of that discharge casings, the head stamps or bunter marks.
So you collected the evidence and documented it, fair to say?
Yes.
And is it, in summary, fair to say that you recovered 2 discharge cartridge casing and 1 spent projectile?
Correct.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Can you ask that question again?
Sure. in summary, is it fair to say that you recovered 2 discharged cartridge casings and 1 spent projectile that night?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Did you continue your search of that bedroom?
I did.
And what else did you recover from that bedroom?
I don't believe there was anything else from the bedroom other than the 2 discharge casings and the projectile.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Oh. Let's, we'll take a 5-minute recess.
All rise.
Court is in session, please be seated.
Your Honor, we're back on record on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Simmons matter, all counsel and the defendant are present.
Okay, you may continue, counsel.
Thank you. Detective Lieutenant, is it true that you took possession of a number of firearms the night of June 30th, 2025?
I did.
And whose firearms did you collect?
There's 2 North Andover police officers' firearms and another firearm that was recovered at the top of the stairs at the residence.
And the 2 North Andover police officers, was that Tim Houston and Patrick Nunan?
Yes.
And did you also inspect Lieutenant Daly's firearm on scene?
I did.
And what did you determine with respect to Lieutenant Daly's firearm?
He had.
Well, I'm sorry. This almost only happens in Lawrence. But the window's open over here, and, which is what we need for, because of our HVAC, but I'm having trouble hearing. Do you mind closing that? Sorry, and you're going to have to repeat the last question and answer. I didn't. Thank you. Okay. Can you repeat that?
I think so. Sir, what was your finding with respect to Lieutenant Daly's firearm?
He had 1 magazine, so he was fully loaded. There wasn't any unaccounted for rounds of ammunition.
Okay.
Wait, I'm confused because I thought you took Officer Houston and Officer Nunan is what I wrote down, but is that?
Fair to say you took Officer Houston's firearm and Officer Nunan's firearm?
Correct.
And did you take Lieutenant Daly's firearm?
I did not.
Did you just examine the number of bullets in his magazine?
Yes, I.
Well, she's leading because the judge was distracted by the outside noise. So, and I'll allow you to do so as well, Mr. Brady. So overruled. All right. So now I understand. Thank you.
And sir, I'm next going to ask you if you recognize what's shown in Exhibit 10.
Yes, that is the firearm at the top of the stairs, as well as a magazine with numerous live cartridges in it, as well as 1 loose live cartridge.
Is this the loose live cartridge here?
It is.
I'd like to ask you about your major findings in this case. Based on your training and experience, did you conduct microscopic analysis with respect to the projectile and cartridge casings that were recovered from the bedroom of Phillipsbrook Road?
I did. So I test fired all 3 weapons and conducted a microscopic examination of the class characteristics as well as the individual markings that were left behind from the firing process. I was able to conclude that the weapon that was fired by Officer Nunan created the discharge casings that were recovered in the bedroom, as well as the spent projectile that was recovered above the air conditioner.
And were you able to exclude any weapons?
I was able to exclude the other firearms.
I'd like to change gears a little and talk about the weapon that was recovered from the black safe at the top of the stairs. Did you do anything with respect to that gun?
I test fired that weapon with 2 live cartridges from submitted ammunition.
And what was your conclusion?
That weapon did not fire the discharge casings as well as the projectile that was recovered.
So the gun from the black safe was also excluded from the discharge casings in the projectile that were recovered from the bedroom?
Correct.
But did the gun operate?
It did operate, yes.
Was there any problems with its operation?
There was no malfunctions.
Did you bring with you today a box?
I did.
And what is contained within that box?
I believe it was the that Glock firearm that was in question that was recovered at the top of the stairs.
Is that box packaged in the standard way that the ballistic unit packages firearms?
It is.
If you could open the box and explain what is in the content, what's contained within.
May I assume that someone's made sure that this is safe to begin with?
I'll do it again, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, we have a trigger lock that was provided later. We have the firearm in question. It is safe and empty. There's nothing in the chamber. The slide is locked back to the rear. There's nothing in the magazine well. The weapon is safe and empty. Also, contents of this is you have the 2 magazines that were recovered from the vest that were downstairs on the first floor of the residence. You have the magazine that was recovered in the safe. It was originally loaded with 16 live cartridges. And you have 2 test fires that conducted using that live ammunition from that magazine, as well as the single loose live cartridge that was recovered in the safe.
Are you going to ask more questions about that? Because I couldn't keep up. Or should I have them repeated?
No, I will ask more questions.
Okay, thank you.
But in the meantime, may the box and the contents be marked for as an exhibit?
Yeah, let's. We're gonna have to do them individually. I don't want the ammunition to be with the firearm. So let's do that, Mr. Ruane. And also, any objection if he puts Mr. Bradle, if he puts the trigger lock on there?
No, Judge.
I don't know. Are you able to even?
Object to the meeting either for this. I don't object to any meeting for this kind of stuff.
I would ask that you just wait to put the trigger lock on, certainly before it's submitted.
Sure. Thank you.
How about we do the gun in the box, and then the rest we can mark, tag individually?
Sure.
Exhibit 90 would be the firearm, Your Honor, in a box. This is a magazine. 91 is a magazine, Your Honor. Is also a magazine, Your Honor.
Is it with the ammunition?
Yes.
Okay.
93 is a magazine.
93 is a magazine with ammunition.
Live round.
94 ammunition, 1 round.
Test fire.
95 test fired ammunition. 96 test fired ammunition.
98 The magazine that you recovered from the gun in the black safe, what was the total capacity of that magazine?
17 live cartridges.
And is that how many live cartridges that weapon can hold?
That's how many cartridges the magazine can hold. So what's called a top-off method. So you load the magazine with the 7 live cartridges, you chamber around, you take the magazine out of the magazine well, and then insert another live cartridge. So essentially the magazine will be fully loaded with 7, and then there will be 1 live cartridge in the chamber.
So you said 7, not 17.
Oh, my apologies.
No, I'm asking, that's a question. You mean 7, right? Not 17?
7. The magazine is 17 live cartridges capacity.
17
17.
is the capacity. Okay.
17 is the capacity for the magazine that was recovered from the black box.
Correct.
And so when you add an extra round, what's the capacity for the weapon itself?
So we'd call it 17 plus 1, so essentially 18 live cartridges.
So getting back to that, in that black box, in this, I'm showing you Exhibit 80. Exhibit 80 is the gun, the magazine, and the single live projectile that is contained within the box in front of you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you examined this firearm, how many bullets were in the magazine?
There were 16 live cartridges in the magazine.
And how many live projectiles were in the safe?
There was 1 loose round live cartridge in the safe.
And that is reflected in the 1 loose round cartridge that's in Exhibit 94, is that correct?
Correct.
Are you familiar with the term dry fire?
I am.
What's that mean?
So you are cycling the weapon without a live cartridge in the chamber. So all the same steps are going to happen. You're going to cock that weapon. It's going to have that trigger bar or that striker be sent to the rear. It's going to be held in tension by that trigger bar. When you depress the trigger, it's going to create that trigger bar to drop. The firing pin is going to move forward through the aperture and potentially strike any live cartridge that's in the chamber.
And what happens if there's not a live cartridge in the chamber?
So you'll hear an audible click.
With the court's permission, may Detective Lieutenant demonstrate?
Any objection?
No.
Demonstrate with...
A dry fire with no projectile in the weapon at all, no projectile particularly in the chamber.
Yes.
So if you could stand up and demonstrate.
Right. Again, there's nothing in the magazine well, nothing in the chamber currently. So the weapon currently is cocked. You'd move the slide forward, still in the cocked position. You still have that trigger bar, it's moved backwards. And then when you pull the trigger, you'll hear an audible click because it's releasing that striker. That striker is going to move forward and hit where the aperture where the firing pin would protrude. So you'll hear the click. And then in order to reset it, so right now you have a dead trigger, it's not going to do anything. Again, pull the trigger, audible click. And that's what you'll hear. If you have nothing, if it's halfway, you'll have a click as well. So if it's not all the way chambered, it'll click as well. So what we call it is out of battery. So the weapon is locked to the rear. You'll have the slide forward. Now the weapon is battery. So you have an enclosed live cartridge. There's nowhere for that live cartridge to go when it's fired, but out the barrel.
And I'm sorry, the term that you used, battery?
It's out of, so once the live cartridge is loaded, that weapon is now in battery. So you have the breech that is right behind that live cartridge. So when you fire that weapon, an explosion is going to happen. So you're going to have the firing pin is going to hit that primer. Primer is going to ignite the powder. Powder is going to build up gases. Projectors are going to go down simultaneously. You're going to have an explosion, which is going to cause that slide to go backwards. The extractor is in contact with that live cartridge. It's going to rip that discharge casing out. It's going to hit an ejector, which is pretty much a metal rod, and it's going to eject out this ejection port, which is right here. There's an ejector right in there. An extractor is like a little claw that's attached to that rim of that live cartridge or that discharge cartridge after firing and pulling it right out. All in one function, and then that slide is going to go forward and load the next live cartridge.
Thank you.
So based on your training and experience, would you hear that click if there was a loaded magazine in the weapon but no bullet in the chamber?
Yes.
And based on your training and experience, what would happen if the gun was cocked and there was bullets in the magazine and you pulled the trigger?
If there wasn't any live cartridges in the chamber, nothing would go off. You'd hear a click, but nothing would go off.
And then how would you get a bullet to go into the chamber?
You'd have to physically, manually load that bullet or push that slide forward to load that live cartridge from the magazine.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes, take your time.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, sir.
Afternoon.
Lieutenant Detective Bonasaro, do I have that right?
Detective Lieutenant Bonasoro.
Bonasaro, nice to meet you. We have never spoken before, correct?
Correct.
So, what's a head stamp on a cartridge?
It's the indicator that tells you the caliber and the manufacturer.
Was that something that you took note of for all the cartridges in this case?
Yes.
And and you can look at any of your reports if you like, or anything you need to look at, you can just let me know. Or you can just go right ahead and do it. Do you have your reports with you?
I don't have them with me now.
Okay. And let me know and I can show you. In this case, relative to the spent projectiles that you recovered and the loose round you recovered, did you check the head stamps of those?
All head stamps were recorded on all evidence, yes.
And they're on your ballistics worksheets, right?
Yes.
And if you need to look, just let me know. All the head stamps for all these cartridges were the same, right?
I believe so.
It was Hornady 9mm?
Yes.
Okay. And so, just out of an abundance of caution, I don't want you to believe so. I want you to look and just tell me. Is that all right?
Yes, that's it.
I'm pretty sure I'm giving you everything. And if I don't, just let me know. And I have 3 ballistics worksheets here. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yeah. I'm going to show you those. Take a look. Take all the time.
And then, just so I'm clear, Mr. Bradle, the question is whether all the ammunition recovered had the same head stamp?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct,
thank
Your
you.
Honor. So with respect to, actually, I should qualify that a little more, Your Honor.
Sure.
The question was, the 2 spent projectiles and the loose round, do they all have the same head stamp?
The 2 discharge casing as well as the loose live cartridges all have the same Hornady head stamp.
And I apologize, and you just corrected me. I said spent projectiles. That's wrong, isn't it?
Correct.
So I should rephrase that, Your Honor. The 1 live round, live cartridge, and the 2 shell casings all had the same head stamp.
Correct.
Thank you. And I said that right that time, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm just going to retrieve those from you.
Sure.
as a state police detective, you go to various towns and you investigate ballistics evidence, ballistics issues at various calls, right?
Yes.
And oftentimes you get there kind of well after the fact of the incident, right?
Correct.
And in this case, I know you don't exactly remember the times, but let's break it down a little bit. How long did it take you to get to the scene, if you recall?
Probably over an hour to get there. I was traveling from Maynard.
Okay, so Maynard to North Andover, and it's, was it dark out when you got there, if you can recall?
I don't recall exactly what time I got there.
Okay. It's fair to say that the scene was secured and there was there were no civilians around. It was a crime scene that was in the possession of police.
Safe to say there was a secure scene, yes.
Okay. And you saw colleagues from the state police that are assigned to the state Essex detective unit, right?
Correct.
And you also saw some North Andover police officers as well, correct?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that the North Andover police officers were having free reign over that scene when you were there?
I wouldn't call it free reign.
Well, nobody was keeping them out of there, right?
I believe they had a log of who was going in and out, but it's not my responsibility to keep track of who's in the scene.
Certainly not. And you oftentimes don't have personal knowledge of what goes with what cartridges from what gun, things like that.
Correct.
And you often have to rely on what people at the scene tell you.
Yes.
And then you can also, however, apply your science and figure out to a reasonable degree of ballistic certainty what the relationships of certain projectiles, cartridges, and firearms are, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in this case, you don't have any personal knowledge of the chain of custody of these various firearms, do you?
What was recorded in my notes of who I recovered these firearms from is all I can.
Well, we can start there, and we'll go through it. So you wrote a report, and again, if you want to look at this, just let me know. You wrote a report that involved 3 Glock firearms, right?
Yes.
Okay. And actually, it might be quicker, Judge, if I give him one of these, so I don't have to keep going back and forth with that.
That's fine. Let me ask, Mr. Brady, do you think that now's a good time to break for lunch? Do you think?
Sure,
And then,
that's fine, Judge, and I'll have the paperwork for him, and we can just go without having to go back.
Yeah, maybe let's do that. So
Thank you.
we'll stand at recess and let's start back up at 5 of 2.
Should we have him
All
put
right.
the gun lock on?
In lunch recess.
Should you put the gun lock on?
Yeah, do.
Okay.
We're back on record on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter, docket 2025, 77 CR 311. All counsel and the defendant are present.
Okay, and I think we left off during cross.
Yes. May I resume, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Lieutenant Detective Bonasar, you have a copy of your report, right?
I do.
Okay. And there's other documents too. You have worksheets and other items, correct?
Correct.
So if you need anything, just let me know and we can share anything you need, okay?
Okay.
What is meant by chain of custody of an item?
Who has actual custody of that particular piece of evidence? It's moved from one location to another or one person to another.
So as a piece of evidence kind of goes through the investigative process, sometimes it can be important to make sure you know who had it, where did it go, as it goes through, right?
Correct.
And in this case, it's fair to say that you don't have personal knowledge of a lot of the chain of custody here.
I have personal knowledge of who I received the firearms from.
Right, okay. And we'll go through that. And I'm not questioning, in terms of chain of custody, you and the state police going forward from when you left the crime scene. I want to ask you some questions about chain of custody at the scene, okay? Who did you get, and again, you can refer to your report here. Item 1-1 is a Glock 47, and we'll just use the last three numbers of the serial number, 269. Who did you get that from?
What was the item number again?
1-1, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yep. And the last three digits of the serial number are 269.
Thank you.
And so that gun, and again, you can look on your papers, anything you want. Do you know who you got that from?
If I could see my notes, the worksheet
Sure.
notes
Yep.
from the crime scene.
Sure.
Yep.
Let me see if I got this right. These would be the notes, right? And this is just another copy of that report.
Yes.
So 1-1, take all the time you need. Who did you get that from?
It was received from Detective Lieutenant Michael Davis.
Okay, and who's he?
He works for North Andover.
All right. And do you know whose gun that is identified to from the incident?
Based on the serial number, I was told it was Officer Nunan's weapon.
Okay. And are there some notes in that packet you have there from you that indicate that Chief Gray had that gun for a while?
Yes.
And what are the indications that, how did Chief Gray come to get Nunan's gun?
I was told that he had custody of the weapon and he unloaded the weapon at some point and he put the live cartridge that was in the chamber back into the magazine.
Okay, so Chief Gray is manipulating Nunan's firearm. And I mean the word manipulating in the physical sense.
Yes, this is what I was told.
Okay. And then it goes to who? Lieutenant Reardon, was it?
Detective Lieutenant Michael Davis.
Davis, sorry. And then Davis gives it to you?
Yes.
And that's just what you have documented, right? You don't have any knowledge of any other people having it, right?
Correct.
Presumably Nunan had it since it was his firearm at some point.
Presumably.
And, all right, so that's 1-1. And item 1-2 is a box magazine from item 1-1, correct?
Yes.
And it's got 16 cartridges in it, and the capacity is 17, right?
Yes.
And so you say right in your report, from item 1-1, so it's the magazine from Nunan's gun, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then 1-3 is a little different, isn't it?
Yes.
You write there, one removable box magazine from, but then you didn't fill in who it's from, right?
Yes, that was an error on the administrative portion of the report.
Okay. And just so we're clear, this is your report?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So it was never noted where the 1-3 is from, correct? In terms of the gun.
It was noted that it was received from Officer Michael Logan,
Right.
1-3.
So he's the chain of custody guy, but unlike 1-1 and 1-2, where you match them up, that the magazine is from 1-1, here, it doesn't say where that magazine is from, right?
Well, these were recovered at a later time. I was initially given the firearm with the magazine, and then later on, these additional magazines that were recovered from, I believe, the either the duty belt or vest carrier, whatever the officer had.
Okay. And you know, I'm just asking about what it says. I'm not trying to suggest there's fault, and I just want to go through it with you in terms of what's identified and what's known to be from somewhere and what's not. Okay? So I'm not trying to find fault. I just want to factually have us go through the report. So we don't know where 1-3, the box magazine, is from, what device it's from, right?
I was told it was from either the vest carrier or the duty belt of Officer Nunan.
Okay. But that's not in the report, is it?
It is not.
And then same with 1-4, one removable box style magazine from, and then from is not identified, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's the same thing. You got a magazine, and that's from Officer Logan as well. The chain of custody reference is from Logan, right?
Yes.
Okay. And again, it's not identified in the document where it comes from. Yes?
Correct. Correct.
Then 1-5 is another Glock 47. So it's just to cut to the chase. All three guns you have are Glock 47s, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a semi-automatic firearm that was, to your understanding, issued to the North Andover Police?
Yes.
And each one obviously has its own serial number.
Correct.
But otherwise they look the same.
Yes.
Going to 1-7, you have two removable box-style magazines that you received, and the chain of custody guy is Michael Logan, but it doesn't say what firearm they were in the vicinity of or near, correct?
So as I entered the evidence, it was associated with the firearm. So as I went to the next firearm, whatever is below that firearm is associated with that firearm. So all evidence below it will be associated with the firearm until I mention another firearm.
Okay, so that's your procedure, right?
Yes.
Well, it's fair to say, though, that sometimes you do say what it's from, and sometimes you omit it, right?
Yes.
And that's by mistake, right?
Yes.
And then you have 1-9, which is another Glock 47. Last three serial number is 315, right?
Correct.
And that is associated with who?
Is Officer Kelsey?
Miss Officer Fitzsimmons?
Fitzsimmons, yes.
And then you have a box magazine, 1-10, right?
Correct.
And you do write from that item in this particular instance, from 1-9, from Miss Fitzsimmons' firearm, right?
Yes.
And then you do two removable box-style magazines from a vest carrier on the first floor.
Yes.
And it's fair to say that after item 1.8 from Michael Logan, that's the last reference to the chain of custody person you received items from, right?
Correct.
So from 1-9 to 115, you don't reference who you got the items from, right?
Well, I physically recovered that evidence.
Okay, so you had it
Yes,
from the scene, like from the floor or the bed or wherever?
correct.
Okay, so these are things that you recovered?
Yes.
Okay. Then we get to some discharge cartridges and a live cartridge, 1-12, 13, and 14, right?
Correct.
And they're all, as we went over, they're all head stamped the same, right?
Yes.
And then you have 115, the last item, is a spent projectile, so like a bullet, a spent bullet from above the air conditioner.
Correct.
And you recovered that yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with respect to the live cartridge, the discharge cartridge at 113 and the discharge cartridge at 114, it's fair to say that you applied science, I'm going to just keep it vague for a second, that you applied some science to the two discharge cartridge casings, right?
I was looking for agreement of individual markings, yes.
Right, so you used some science.
Yes.
Just to start real basic here. And you were able to identify those two discharge casings to item 1-1, right?
Correct.
And 1-1, you know to be Nunan's Glock, right?
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say that with respect to the live round recovered from the hallway safe, it's fair to say that you didn't apply any science to that item, correct?
Correct.
So there's no science, unlike the other two, unlike the discharge casing in 114, the discharge casing in 113, unlike those, the live cartridge, there's no scientific basis for you to say what gun that came from, right?
Correct.
And it's fair to say that there were, and again, I'm not trying to find fault. Nobody asked you to apply any science to that item, right?
Correct.
So there were some various scientific methods that you could use to determine where that came from, right?
There would be some markings if it was actually cycles with that weapon.
Right. You're one step ahead of me. That's my next question. If that was cycled through a weapon, you would have, what, breech face markings?
No, you would have what's called extractor markings, possibly ejector markings, as well as you may have magazine marks.
Okay. And just to kind of bottom line it, that means that if someone had, if that cartridge was in the chamber of Ms. Fitzsimmons' weapon, and it was made safe by cycling it out, right?
Correct.
Breech face markings or ejector markings or extractor markings would be deposited on that cartridge, right?
Possibly, but not breech face. Breech face markings is part of the firing process.
Okay, so what processes were available to figure that out?
So you could have the extractor mark, which is holding that live cartridge in place. You'd have a magazine mark if it came from the magazine, if it was loaded in the magazine, and you'd have possibly an ejector mark. But a lot of times these cycling marks don't show up due to the fact that there isn't an explosion that happened, so it's not a exact way of looking at these markings. So you're looking at a piece of ammunition that could have been cycled, but there's no definitive amount of markings there to determine that, unless there was some type of defect or whatnot.
And to figure that out, you got to look at it.
Correct.
And that didn't happen here, right?
Correct.
Nothing further.
Okay. Read you back? Okay. All right, you may step down, thank you. And come up and call your next witness.
Timothy Houston.
you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now at hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Watch your step right there. If you could try to speak up nice and loud, right directly into this microphone so the judge can hear you.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir, in a loud, clear voice, can you please introduce yourself, spell your first name and your last name?
Officer Timothy Houston, TIMOTHYHOUSTON.
And, sir, what do you do for a living?
Patrol officer with North Andover Police Department.
How long have you been doing that?
A little over 5 years.
Just gonna ask you to keep your voice up, okay?
Okay.
Sir,
Thank you.
where'd you grow up?
I grew up in North Andover
Okay, did you go through the North Andover school system?
up until high school.
And where'd you go?
I went to Central Catholic.
After Central Catholic, what did you do?
I went to Norwich University and got a bachelor's in criminal justice.
Okay. After you graduated there, what did you do?
I went to the Army. I was in the Army for 4.5 years, reached the rank of sergeant, and then came home, joined the North Andover Police Department.
Okay. And so when was that you joined the PD?
I started the academy in November 2020.
And your rank now, you're patrol officer?
Patrol officer.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your duties as a patrol officer?
I worked a 4 to 12 shift. I started on midnights. I've been on 4 to 12. I think it's my 3rd year. It's basically if you're not answering calls, you're on the road, watching traffic, things of that nature.
I'm going to jump back for a second and just talk about your military service. You were in the Army, you said?
That's correct.
Okay. And what did you do there?
I was a cavalry scout.
Okay. And what did that entail?
I mean, I had different positions. The job itself, you mainly focus on reconnaissance. While I was there, I started as a dismount. And then I moved up to a gunner, and then I was a dismount team leader, and then I was a gunner for the lieutenants in the platoon. That's pretty much it.
Where were you stationed?
I was at Fort Lewis, Washington.
Okay. Now we're going to jump back to the PD, okay?
Okay.
Do you know a person by the name of Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
I do.
How do you know her?
We worked together briefly. I mean, she was in the academy. I can't remember how long she was out of the academy, but she was FTOing for a while, and she was FTOing on my shift. And then she finished FTO, and she worked on our shift for a brief period of time.
Okay. FTO, what do you mean by that?
So she was under a field training officer. So she was riding around with somebody while she got used to the job, learned.
Did she ever ride around with you?
No, she did not.
Okay. Did you know her socially at all?
Yeah. I was invited to her wedding. We kept in touch when she went on leave. Tried to keep her in the loop. Spoke with her, kind of, trying to get everybody together before her wedding. Her wedding was a decent amount of time away, and while she was out of work, we obviously didn't see her as much. So we had been working on planning something with, some of the guys from work, people bringing their spouses, their dogs, and trying to figure out something, but it never happened.
Okay. Did you know her fiance?
I met him at the engagement party. Other than that, I'd see him, on calls if we had the FD, but I don't know him that well.
Okay. So I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of last year. Were you working that day?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, did you get touched by Lieutenant Daly?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the nature of that communication?
He called me and said, Justin filed an RO against Kelsey. He wanted me and Officer Nunan to go to the house and serve the RO, which required Justin picking up their baby and confiscating our firearms.
Okay. How did he get in touch with you? Do you remember?
By cell phone.
Okay. Did he ask you to do anything in particular about Officer Nunan?
Initially, he told me to drive past Kelsey's house and see if she was home.
Okay. Did you do that?
I did,
And you knew where she lived?
yes.
Did she park in a particular place usually?
So normally, yes, she would park in front of her house if she was home. I found her car 50 to 100 yards down the road, kind of in the school lot, kind of tucked away.
Okay. Did you relay that information to Lieutenant Daly at that point?
I did.
Okay. And at the point that you saw her car, had you already talked to Officer Nunan?
After I called Lieutenant Daly and told him about her car being out of, and it parked in a strange way, I called Officer Nunan.
Okay. And what did you tell him?
I said, hey, what's going on? He hadn't talked to Lieutenant Daly yet, so he had no idea what was going on. So I told him to meet me in the parking lot, and I'd go over it with him.
Okay. And did he do that?
He did.
Did he get there before Lieutenant Daly did, if you remember?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did you inform him of what was going on?
I did.
At some point, did Lieutenant Daly also meet up with you in that particular spot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you talk about a plan as to how you were going to handle serving the order?
My only memory is what I updated Officer Nunan with, just the circumstances of why we're going there and concerns that we had, but I don't remember what the exact plan was. I think it was assumed that Lieutenant Daly would do most of the talking.
Okay. And you said your concerns. What were your concerns?
We were aware that she had been sectioned before, so, obviously it's a tough position for her, finding out, there's an order in place, we're taking her firearms, we got to take the baby, give him to Justin, so we thought with her past being sectioned, she might not take that news very well, and, we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Okay. Had you served restraining orders yourself before?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, did you go over to 125 Phillips Brook Road?
Yes, we did.
And the three of you?
Yes.
Did you go in together?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us what happened as you approached the house? And take us from there.
So we parked off to the side of the house, out of view of the house itself. We walked around, knocked on the front door, or the side porch door, whatever.
Had you ever been in that home before?
I don't think I'd ever been in the home, no.
Did when you knocked or rang, I'm sorry, I forget what you said.
I don't remember.
Okay. Did someone answer?
Yes, Kelsey answered.
Okay. Did she have the baby with her?
She did.
Okay. So what happened then?
She wasn't sure why we were there. Lieutenant Daly kind of had the paperwork in his hand. She invited us in, and Lieutenant Daly just started explaining why we were there and what was going on.
Okay. Where in the house did you go?
So we went into the living room.
Okay. Did you remain standing? Was she seated? What happened with the baby? Can you describe what happened there?
So Lieutenant Daly asked her to take a seat on one of the couches. Had her put the baby in like a rocker on the floor, and I stood kind of away from them by another couch.
Okay. Could you hear what they were saying?
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly what was said, but
what was the gist?
Justin filed this order. She was shocked by it. Lieutenant Daly was doing his best to, mediate and tell her, this is what has to happen now, but you're going to have your day in court. Like nothing's, we're going to figure this out.
Okay. Did you look around the living room at all?
Yes, I did.
And did you notice something?
Yes. So on the couch I was near, there was clothes everywhere, and I could see a handgun case sticking out. And before that, Lieutenant Daly had asked Kelsey where her firearms were, and she said they're in the basement. And while they were having that discussion, I saw the handgun case, picked it up, opened it, it was empty, and Kelsey reassured me that they were in the basement.
Okay. So that was the second time she said they were in the basement?
Yes.
How soon after you got in there was that question asked about where the guns were, if you remember?
Almost immediately.
Okay. That was one of the first questions?
Yes.
What happened next?
We told her that, or Lieutenant Daly told her that Justin's going to come and pick up the baby. So she said, you know, how long is he going to have him? I need to pack for him. So me and Lieutenant Daly began following Kelsey as she packed for the baby.
Okay. And did she do anything with the baby when you guys were following her around, if you remember?
I believe at that time Officer Nunan was holding the baby.
Now, you said you were following her around the house?
That's correct.
Was it? Why was that?
It was still, we were still a little bit on edge. She had to go to the kitchen. I remember when me and Lieutenant Daly followed her in the kitchen, I was concerned because there was butcher knives all along the kitchen. That was just something that stood out to me.
Okay. Was it your intention for you or another officer to be with her the entire time?
That's correct.
Okay. Is that standard practice when you're have similar concerns?
Correct.
After you went into the kitchen, do you remember where you went?
I believe we went upstairs. Me, Kelsey, Lieutenant Daly, briefly came back downstairs, and then we went into the other side room. I think it's like an exercise room.
Okay. At any point, if you remember, did the defendant make a call?
Yes, at some point she called her mother.
So after you came downstairs, at some point did you take possession of the baby?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened while you were holding the baby? Anything?
Yeah, so I took the baby from Officer Nunan, which Kelsey asked me to do, which I did. Kelsey told me, why don't you take him for a walk? He likes to look at the cars. I told her, I said I'd take the baby, but I wasn't going to leave. So I took the baby out on the porch, and the baby was crying, so I was doing my best with the baby. And at that point, her mom showed up.
Okay. Through that same door you guys had come in?
Correct.
Okay. And so what did you do when she came?
I peeked in, I told Lieutenant Daly, like, the mom's here, why don't we give her the baby, and we invited the mom in.
After the mom came in and you handed the baby to her, did you stay in the immediate area or did you go somewhere?
So once the mom came in, she was pretty upset with us, but Lieutenant Daly explained the situation to her. So at that point, me and Officer Nunan followed Kelsey upstairs so she could pack more things.
Describe upstairs, if you would.
There's a landing. It's a T hallway.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go up the stairs, there's a landing, and there's a room off to the left and a room off to the right.
And could you describe the room off to the left?
It's got I believe it's the baby's room, has a crib in it.
And how about the room to the right?
That would be Kelsey's bedroom.
Now, you said you followed her up there. Did she go in any one particular room?
She moved between both the rooms.
Okay. While you were up there?
Correct.
And what was she doing?
She was packing. At some point, she mentioned that Justin doesn't have a car seat, so she handed me a car seat. I was holding it, and started putting more and more stuff in there, and at some point I put it down.
Why'd you put it down?
I didn't want to have my hands tied up.
Okay. And did that continue for some bit?
Briefly, at some point, she heard a female's voice downstairs, and she made a comment to me. She said, "Who's downstairs, my baby?" I said, "I believe it's your mom. I mean, we were just there." And she said, "That's not my mom's voice." And I got the sense that she wanted me to go downstairs and check, but I just kind of dismissed it at the time.
Okay. And so you stayed up there.
I stayed up
Do you
there.
remember which room that was in when you were having that conversation?
That was right at the landing, so she had moved, I think she had moved back to her bedroom, and as she was coming across, she had mentioned it. And at some point up there, I'd found another handgun case.
Okay.
And
Where was that?
I honestly couldn't tell you which room it was in.
Okay. And did you look into it?
I opened it, and she saw me open it, and she said, I already told you they're in the basement.
Was there anything in it?
There was nothing in it.
At some point, was your attention drawn downstairs again?
Correct.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so at some point Justin came, Kelsey heard his voice, and she said, I don't want him in the house. And at that point, I thought the only thing that was gonna escalate the situation is them two in the house together at the same point. So I wanted to help Kelsey out, so I told her I'd go tell Justin to leave.
Okay. Where were you when this conversation happened?
Between me and Kelsey, we were still upstairs.
Okay. And was Officer Nunan also with you?
Yeah,
So did you go downstairs?
I did.
Okay. Officer Nunan stay up with Kelsey?
Correct.
Where is she at this point, if you remember?
She was either in her room or at the landing, but I couldn't be certain. But when we had that conversation, we were at the landing. And
Okay. You went downstairs?
Correct.
And what did you do when you went downstairs?
So when I went downstairs, I only saw Lieutenant Daly, the mom, and I told him, Kelsey doesn't want Justin in the house. And he said, all right, Justin's, I don't know if he said he's in the basement or he's coming up from the basement. He said, just go to the basement and tell him just to wait outside.
Okay. So where'd you go?
I walked past Lieutenant Daly and Kelsey's mom through the kitchen where the basement, the top of the stairs is, and I opened that door.
Could you see down?
So it was, the lights are off. I flicked the light to turn the lights on. Lights didn't turn on. So
Could you hear anything downstairs?
I couldn't hear anything, and I remember after I flicked the lights on, they didn't go on, and I'm looking at a pitch black basement. I thought there was a chance I misheard Lieutenant Daly, and I just kind of stood there. I was like, I really don't want to walk down there if he's not down there, but I don't know how I was just kind of having like a moment where I wasn't sure whether or not to check with Lieutenant Daly.
Okay. Did something happen at that point?
Yeah, so at that point, I heard Officer Nunan yell, Kelsey, and then I heard 2 gunshots.
What did you do?
I ran back the way I came. At that point, it was only Kelsey's mom. She was still in the living room. Lieutenant Daly was gone. He'd already gone upstairs, and I started making my way upstairs.
Okay. When you were making your way upstairs, could you see anybody at the top of the landing?
I could see Officer Nunan.
And what happened as you went up?
So, I mean, I knew it was gunshots. I came over the air and I said, start medics. I don't know if that got caught or someone else was calling at the same time, but I had my pistol out and I was going up the stairs. I saw Nunan and I said, like, "Do you good up there? What was that?" And I can't remember exactly what he said at that point.
Can you give us the gist of what he said?
At that point, he said, yeah, he looked like he was still in shock. He said, yeah. So I kept moving up towards him, and as I got closer to him, I was like, what just happened? He said, she pulled a gun on me. And we talked about it later, but at that point, that's what he said.
That's fine right there, actually. Okay. Just didn't want anything further. Okay. Thank you.
Do you remember the exact words he used?
So the exact words he used would be after the FD and we had gone into the other room and spoken. But at that exact moment, that I don't even.
What's the basis?
So I'm not. I guess it's that it's a vague question because I don't know what he's referring to in terms of what conversation, how long is it after the incident, what's the demeanor, what's the purpose of it being offered for. There's a lot to unpack here.
All right, well, what the answer was didn't include hearsay. It just was that I think it was something to the effect that later on they went in the kitchen, but maybe he and Nunan and had a discussion, something to that effect. But the objection is overruled.
So the fact of the discussion, I don't object to, but just any further, I'm trying to stop it from coming out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would the exact words that he used when you first ran up the stairs, would it help you to remember if you looked at a report?
I know he did say she pointed the gun at me, pulled the trigger, and racked the slide. Whether it was right when I was moving up the stairs or once everything got situated, it was in that time frame, but I can't remember if it was exactly when I got to the top of the stairs or.
Okay.
Motion to strike the testimony.
Would looking at a report help you remember that?
Hold on a second. There's an objection. To strike what?
Non-responsive. It's, I don't know what conversation he's talking about. It's hearsay and frankly news to the defense.
Okay. So first things first. On the hearsay issue, Mr. Gubitosi.
I'm trying to establish that it happened seconds after the event.
So for the truth of the matter or state of mind?
Both.
Okay. And so to the extent that you're seeking to offer for the truth of the matter, it's hearsay. And I think, didn't we already litigate the spontaneous utterance?
No, that was a different time frame.
Oh, that was a different, all right. So are you arguing that this should be admitted as a spontaneous utterance?
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest of your objections that is within there, let's just take them a step at a time. Let's get through the spontaneous utterance. So, Mr. Bradle, what do you say on the spontaneous utterance?
So I think there's certainly a lack of foundation, Judge, where there's been two different overlapping statements that are referenced here. I don't know where they're going back to here. It needs to be clarified foundationally what happened before the statement, how long after the shots it was, what were the circumstances of that particular first statement they want to try to reuse.
So
I asked for.
I agree with Mr. Bradle that it's the foundation right now, and it's not the witnesses, it's fault. The foundation right now, to me, is confusing because he's having trouble remembering which conversation.
And I do understand that. That's why I'm looking to approach with the report.
Okay.
To refresh his memory, yes.
All right, well, why don't you do that, and we'll take it a step at a time.
Just going to ask you to look at the timing.
Just so you know, for right now, I'm not going to strike the testimony because it can come in for state of mind. The issue is whether it comes in for the truth.
Thank you.
Does that help you remember the timing of that statement?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. When did that statement happen?
So that statement happened when I got to the top of the stairs.
Right.
I don't know what statement it is because he's
Sure, I'll ask him.
He's recited two different statements. Again, I'm not casting aspersions, but it was she pulled the gun on me or she pointed a gun, racked the trigger, etc. So if you can have him clarify.
Sure. What statement did you hear when you ran up the stairs the first time?
So she pointed the gun at me. I'm speaking from Officer Noonan's perspective. Pointed the gun.
I can't hear you.
She pointed the gun at Officer Noonan, pulled the trigger, and then racked the slide.
All right, and there's an objection to that coming in for truth of the matter?
I get you one moment here.
Sure, take your time.
Judge, there's still a lack of foundation here, Your Honor. Now he's saying something different than what he said 2 answers ago about what the statement was. So this is, in terms of any sort of a reliability preliminary finding of any of this, it's all over the place.
He just said something completely different than what he said before.
He's now clarified it, so we're beyond that. And so he's now has identified the statement, identified where it was made, when it was made. There was some mention before about the declarant state of mind. So I guess what I'm politely saying is you need to move beyond that. So now the issue for me is, does that statement come in for the truth of the matter? And
Judge, I think that I'll reiterate my arguments from the earlier discussion about the other excited utterance statement, Your Honor, that this isn't like a domestic violence situation where someone is, you know, a battered woman or something, where the time frame is much more flexible. And in this situation, you have an officer-involved shooting that happens. Another fellow investigating officer comes right up there, and there's a huge motive to fabricate immediately, Your Honor, that something happened that covers the officer, covers the shooting officer, versus being under the influence of the event so that you're not fabricating. There's an immediate impulse here that this officer has to cover his future. He has to cover his conduct right away. There doesn't need to be much time to realize that from an officer who jumps the gun, from an officer who panics and shoots someone in the wrong circumstances. That's something that would immediately happen. And particularly where there's no surrounding corroboration, where there's no attempt by the government or no testimony from Nunan that this happened. This is something completely different, that the statement happened, I mean, that this interaction with Houston happened. There's extremely unreliable circumstances. If that really happened, Nunan would have testified to it. If that really happened, the government would have given me discovery on it. If that really happened, it would have been corroborated. So,
all right, so the discovery, the lack of discovery or argument is a different matter. Anything else on just the Commonwealth's assertion that it qualifies as a spontaneous utterance?
no, Your Honor, just the notion that it's not a domestic violence situation. It's a situation where the motive to fabricate immediately arises. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gubitosi, anything further on that?
This is exactly what the exception is for. It couldn't have been more immediate unless Officer Houston was standing next to Officer Nunan when it happened. He immediately heard the shots, immediately heard the yell, and ran up the flight of stairs that you've seen pictures of, and asked what happened, and got that response. So that's my answer to that. And as far as, I think I have to, since we're on the record, talk about a discovery violation.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just take it a step at a time. All right. Anything else?
No, thank you.
All right. So I'm going to sustain the objection, but for reasons different than Mr. Bradle articulated, and essentially for the same reasons that I stated yesterday to Attorney Moriarty, and that is that when I weigh the factors under Baldwin, I come out that it militates towards excluding it for the truth of the matter. It will come in for state of mind. We don't need to get to alleged discovery violations or any other reasons because I've sustained the objection. Unless you want to.
I'd just like to put on the record, it was part of his recorded interview that they've had since the beginning. Okay. So.
All right.
Now, sir, after you heard Officer Nunan tell you that she pulled out a pistol, pulled the trigger, and racked around, where did you go?
At that point, I was at the landing. I looked in, and I saw Kelsey on the ground, and I saw Lieutenant Daly over.
Okay. What was he doing? Anything?
It looked like he was kind of evaluating her. I moved towards them. I asked either Nunan or Lieutenant, I said, where's the gun? I believe I asked Nunan, and he motioned away from Kelsey, so that stopped being my concern. I moved close to Lieutenant Daly just to see what level of consciousness Kelsey was. I could see she was breathing, she was alert, so I told Lieutenant Daly I was going to go get a med bag.
Was she saying anything?
She kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And so, where did you go?
I ran down to get the medical bag out of my cruiser.
Okay. Did you get it?
I did.
Did you come back?
I did.
And what did you do when you came back?
I threw the medical bag on the bed, and I started taking stuff out. I took out the AED, I took out gauze, wraps, stuff like that, handed it to Lieutenant Daly.
Okay.
Excuse me one moment.
Sure.
Thank you, all set.
I'm going to jump back just a and you saw Officer Nunan. Did he have his gun out?
Are we talking about when I came up with the med bag or before that?
First time.
First time, he had it out.
And how was he holding it?
He had it at the low ready, so he had it kind of down towards the ground.
Pointing to the ground?
Yes.
Do you see Kelsey Fitzsimmons in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Can you point to her and describe an article of clothing she's wearing?
She's wearing like a beige sweater.
May the record reflect she's identified the defendant?
It may.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Okay. Cross-examination?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You said that Ms. Fitzsimmons initially exhibited a lack of certainty, or that she was unsure why you were there, correct?
Correct.
And how was that manifested?
She just looked surprised. Her eyes were wide. She didn't, I mean, I guess that's the best way I could describe it.
Now, you were with her for a good amount of time during this interaction, right?
Correct.
And it's true that she tried to kind of get you away from her a couple of times?
That's what I believe, yes.
She gave you the baby and said maybe go out on the porch and or take him for a walk?
Correct.
And then she also put some, tried to put some things in your hands and asked you to take them downstairs?
She didn't ask me to take them downstairs. She just put them in my hand.
And where did that occur?
On the landing.
Upstairs?
Upstairs.
And you said that you heard Officer Nunan yell, "Kelsey"?
Correct.
And that's all?
That's all.
One time?
One time.
And how about after after you said Kelsey, how long of a time elapsed until the gunshots?
I couldn't put an exact time. It wasn't instant, but it was relatively quick.
Relatively quick. How about the gunshots themselves? There was 2 gunshots, right?
2 gunshots.
Were they in quick succession?
Yeah, pretty quick.
And you said that Ms. Fitzsimmons said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Correct.
Did she say, "I'm sorry, I tried to kill myself"?
She did not say that.
Just, "I'm sorry"?
I'm sorry. 3 times.
Now, was there a plan before this to section Kelsey?
No.
You mentioned that you had known that she was sectioned before, right?
Correct.
And that was several months prior, wasn't it?
I don't know exactly when it was.
Okay, so it's fair to say that you don't really have any grasp of the details of that
incident, do you?
I do not.
And you don't know whether it had anything to do with the police or not, do you?
I know there was police there, but I don't know the circumstances of what happened.
Okay, so you don't know how long it was?
No.
And you don't even know whether she was in fact accepted as a Section 12 commitment, do you?
No idea.
And so, do you know the difference between having forms filled out to be looked at under Section 12 versus being accepted and committed under Section 12?
Yeah, so I didn't want to, like I said, I was invited to her wedding. I was friends with Kelsey.
No, that's not my question.
Okay.
I asked you some stuff about Section 12.
I know if you get sectioned, you're going to be there for probably 72 hours, and you can't leave.
And do you have any idea whether that happened in March?
I have no idea.
So it's fair to say that other than kind of the notion floating around in your department that she was sectioned, you really have no information whatsoever about it, isn't that right?
No, I didn't want to know.
And then you said something about the knives in Ms. Fitzsimmons' kitchen?
Correct.
What's the status of the knives in Ms. Fitzsimmons' kitchen?
Just at that point, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so I didn't want her to reach for a knife. It's nothing against her. It's just it's a lot of information to take in. I didn't know how she was going to react.
Okay, so was there something strange about the knives that were in her kitchen?
No, it's just a weapon in the kitchen.
So when you're serving one of these things, anything can be a weapon, right? Any normal household product item can be a weapon, right?
I wouldn't say anything.
Well, a lot of things. How about that?
Yeah, let's go with that.
And in this case, there were knives in her kitchen. Is there anything more to it than that?
No, that's it.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Okay. And any redirect?
Yeah, just briefly. A
Okay.
lot of things could be weapons, correct?
Correct.
So that's why you don't leave someone alone, right?
Correct.
That's why you keep eyes on them the whole time.
Correct.
That's why you're, to use a term, in their pocket while they're walking around, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any recross?
Nothing further.
Okay, all right, you may step down. And Commonwealth, you can call your next witness.
Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now at hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Step up right here, try to keep your voice up nice and loud. Speak
Directly into this thing, you can pull your chair out, so the judge can hear you.
Okay.
How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thank you. All set.
Could you please state your name, spell your first name and your last name?
Yes. My name is Michelle Mitchell. Michelle is M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E. Last name Mitchell, M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L.
And what town do you live in?
I live in Ipswich, Massachusetts.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a correctional officer.
I didn't hear that.
I'm a correctional officer.
Oh, corrections officer.
And how long have you been doing that?
8 years.
In Middleton?
Yes,
Do you know Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
I do.
How do you know her?
We were coworkers, and we eventually became friends.
Now I'm going to jump ahead in your relationship. Well, when did you meet her? Do you remember?
The end of 2021.
At some point, you knew she was getting married.
Yes.
Were you going to be part of that?
Yes, I was a bridesmaid in their wedding.
I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of 2025. Do you recall that day?
I do.
At some point, did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
And was that over the phone?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that?
Yes. We talked on the phone, and she was driving around North Andover, and she was crying, and I heard her baby crying in the back seat.
Did she tell you why she was crying?
She said that she needed Justin.
Any more than that, or was that the gist of it?
That was the gist of the conversation, and then she said she had to pull over to feed the baby.
Now, where were you when you had that conversation? Do you remember?
I was in North Andover driving around trying to meet up with her.
Did you ever meet up with her that day?
I did not until I saw her later in the hospital.
You, where did you go? Did you stay in North Andover?
I did, and up until I went to the hospital after she was shot.
Okay. Where did you go in North Andover? Anybody's house in particular?
I went to Hunter's house.
Okay, and who is Hunter?
He is a friend of Justin's.
And Justin Alayan?
Yes.
And who do you know him to be with regards to Kelsey?
He is a coworker of Justin's and also a friend of his.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. I meant of the defendant. Who is Justin in relation to the defendant?
Oh,
sorry if that was unclear.
That's okay. Justin was Kelsey's fiance.
Okay. Was anybody else over Hunter's house?
Yes.
Who was that?
It would be me, Justin, Katrina, myself, and Justin's sister, Courtney.
And who is Katrina?
A friend of Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Was she also in the wedding, if you know?
Yes.
And without getting into the conversation that was being had between the half dozen of you or so, do you know if Justin made a decision to do something?
Yes.
What was that?
He was going to go to the Lawrence courthouse to file a restraining order 209A and also get temporary custody of the child.
Okay. And at any point did you see the defendant in the area of Hunter's house?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. I witnessed her drive by Hunter's house.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing else.
Yes. Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good afternoon.
Just a couple questions. You said that you spoke with Kelsey on 6/30/25?
That is correct.
And she told you that she was driving around. She said that she was meeting Justin, right?
No, she was not meeting Justin.
Did you say needing Justin?
I thought you said meeting.
I did. Wasn't she going to meet Justin?
That was what I understood from Justin, but she didn't tell me that on the phone.
Okay, she said that she needed Justin?
Meeting or needing? You need to clarify that for me.
I think I said needed.
Quiet, please.
She said she needed Justin?
Needed Justin, that is correct.
Okay, so just let's put that over here. And she had also told you that day that she was meeting Justin, right?
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
So she couldn't meet with you because she was meeting Justin, right?
That is what she said.
And you said there was some sort of gathering at Hunter's house?
Yes.
And that was a social gathering with swimming and drinking, right?
That is incorrect.
Was there swimming?
No, Mr. Bradle.
Was there drinking?
Also no.
And it was you, Katrina, and Justin and his sister and Hunter, right?
Correct.
Now, you said that you saw her drive by the house,
Yes,
and so it's fair to say that she would have been able to recognize some or all of the vehicles, right?
yes,
And going by the house is a route that would take her to the North Andover Common, right?
yes, it's near there, correct.
Nothing further.
Nothing.
All right, you may step down.
Okay, thank you.
May we approach?
Yes. Just give me one moment. Well, you can start walking over.
Quiet, please. We are still on the record.
Just to continue in open court, Mr. Brado, we were discussing, why don't you give me an update on the potential for a view?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. We did get some kind assent from the folks that live there, and it's something that we can do. And I would say that, you know, in a bench trial situation, we're speaking directly to the fact finder, and we have moved for the view. In the final analysis, I rely on the court's discretion and Your Honor's discretion as to whether a view in the final kind of look at things is helpful to the fact finder. So that's our position on that, and we think that judge will be in a position to end the defense case probably by the end of the day tomorrow, or in the afternoon tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And as for, so would the view occur tomorrow?
I think so, Your Honor, that if that's the case, we could do it tomorrow, or we could do it after the defense case.
Okay. And Commonwealth, what do you say?
Take no position.
Well, here's the thing. You take no position, but as I kidded with you earlier, we're gonna need your resources.
Sure, yes, take no
Okay.
position. I leave it up to you whether you think you need one. We would absolutely assist in any way we can.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm not going to take a position on whether I need one or not. What I'm going to do is allow the motion. You've requested it. And go there with an open mind, and
thank you.
We'll treat it like a view with the jury. You folks can point out things to me that you'd like me to remember. It will become part of the evidence, like it is in a jury trial. You know, my observations. And the issue, I just need, I'd like to take a short break to just meet with the court staff, Mr. Wayne, and our court officers, just on the procedures that we'll use. As I told you at Sidebar, I've never done a view in a bench trial. It's not something that we typically do. But I'm all for it. I want to talk with my staff for a few, not my staff, the staff, for a few moments, so that I can come back and we can perhaps get some planning done as well. Okay. So let's just take even a 5-minute break, and Mr. Wayne and our chief and our assistant chief, if I could talk with you for a moment.
So we're back on record on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter. All counsel and the defendant are present.
Okay. All right. So formally, the motion for review is allowed. And I've met with our court officers and Mr. Wayne. So let me just specify who's going to be present. I'm going to assume that the three groups, the Commonwealth, the defense, and the court staff, will go there in separate vehicles. So we need to just work out a time, and also, frankly, we have to work out. So let me back up. As for who goes inside the house to do the view, I'm sorry, all the folks in the back row, but perhaps it can be the four of you folks that Ms. Fitzsimmons, counsel, the trial counsel that have been here, Attorney Coakley, Attorney Bradle, and your paralegal. And I'm sorry, he said your Mr. Bradle has told me your name 6 times, and I just keep forgetting. But I don't mean any disrespect to the other attorneys, but I can already tell from the photographs it's a small house, and then on the court side it will be myself, Mr. Ruane, our court monitor, if you'll be available, and some court officers. We'll take our own vehicle. I would ask that there be some kind of police escort for us so that we can do this quickly. And I'll also tell the media and our audience that this is not something that you folks will be. This is not going. You will not. No one else will be inside that house, or really within some yardage or footage of the house. I need to figure out what that would be, other than the folks that I've mentioned: defense counsel, Ms. Fitzsimmons, the court staff, and the prosecutors. So I'd ask that the North Andover Police. I'll give you some kind of a distance. I need to think about it, but that the North Andover Police do what is or the state police do what they usually do during a view, which is typically shutting down the street or area to make sure that we can accommodate quick movement through there. All right, so that's where we're at. So I would just ask you folks to just work out a time. Let our either chief court officer, assistant chief court officer, Mr. Ruane, know what the time that you want to go, and then what we'll do is, if we're in the middle of a witness's testimony, we'll just break, go on the view and come back. And again, the expectations at the view will be just like we do during a jury trial. The attorneys it will be on the record in the sense of it will be recorded. Is that not live, but recorded? What? It's a handout, right? So it won't be live, but it will be recorded, so there's a record of it. And the attorneys, like in a jury view, will just point out locations inside the home that you'd like me to, and even outside the home that you'd like me to make note of. All right, and we will go from there. Anything else?
We spoke. We anticipate Thursday morning. Just to give you a heads up, we need a little time to.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. You anticipate Thursday morning. Okay, that's time. Just let okay. All right. And does that work for you folks? Okay. All right. Okay, that makes sense. So tomorrow, the Commonwealth may or may not have a witness. The defense, if the Commonwealth rests, I guess you could rest because it is the defense's motion for the view. So technically, you could rest. If the Commonwealth rests in the morning, you'll be ready to proceed with your case.
Yes, Your Honor. Two witnesses.
All right. All right. Excellent. And then we won't obviously get to closings until after the view. So if we're on target. And the evidence tomorrow, we can. That can happen on Thursday. All right. And one other thing. I've only done this once, this trial. I always have these false alarms when I'm ready to leave, and that is that, as I said, I'd like to get some agreement on the law that you want me to apply. All right. So. Or at least maybe not agreement, consensus. All right. So you can do that in the way of proposed jury instructions, just a memo, whatever you want to do is fine. Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll stand in recess.
All right.
would stand in recess. Please remember, when you exit the courtroom, there is another session that's up and running. Thank you. Yeah.
Great defense view, James.
Watch the seat.
You know what?
Over three.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know what to do. No, I think.
Do you have a back seat? We do. Let's go talk to him. Oh, you're
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.